this. Fresh off the Palm Beach County, that's where I'm from. Where niggas get gunned down and left slung from. Thumbs just for fucking round. This ain't accounting for you bitches to come around.
What up? What up? And welcome to another episode of the unofficial podcast of the National Football League, the world-famous and critically acclaimed 5-6 Kings podcast. I'm David Breen, but with me as always is my dear friend and co-host, Braden Bullard. Braden, how are you, man?
David, I'm doing pretty well, and I got to say, this movie has made an impression on me. I kind of want to build a cult following, and
You're not charismatic enough to do that.
yeah. Yeah, well, at some point, like, maybe I'm charismatic enough. Maybe I just don't care enough in the long term.
No.
Like, one day I'm
it's
just...
charisma. You got no charisma, kid. Nah.
Yeah.
You can't get me to back off that stance, all right? No matter how convincing you sound, I will not back off that stance.
But wouldn't it be nice just to get a bunch of people to follow you and just kind of like, do whatever you say?
Ruin their lives.
I did. So I saw
Do
something
like a Waco situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly like a Waco. Now imagine I saw this on Instagram and I was like, man, what a fun fucking idea. So when I went to Coachella, got to bring it about me. They did a drone show.
Naturally.
Yeah. The drone show was incredible. It was unlike literally like anything I've ever seen. And there was this thing on Instagram. I was like, what if we did a drone show over like an uncontacted tribe? Just a group of small tribe in an island.
That's a horrible idea.
And we fucking were like, we are God. We got them to like believe and everything.
It would terrorize those poor people.
But then one
I'm
day
not interested in doing it to like poor like third world like living in fucking just a nightmare scenario.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll flip it.
I want it to be like middle class and up and like convince them like,
let's say
here's what we got to do.
Same thing happens.
Sign all your shit over to Big Daddy,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll go from there.
How would you feel though if you didn't? Liberated, free, finally. Get trust back in your life. But how would you feel though if there was something that was going on, you couldn't understand what was happening, and then it was so remarkable and you could not describe it that you had to think it was God, and after you came to that realization and you switch face, you put all your trust into this thing that you can't even describe. It's just aliens. Aliens are just like, they wipe back the fourth dimensional wall thing that they're making you freak out about. And they're like, it's just us. Like a spin on the same thing I just said. Like, how would you feel? You're able to now like realize you just been goofed.
I mean, by alien, you say that like that wouldn't still be nuts?
No, it totally would be. But
you
they're
say
like
that
laughing
like
at
the
you
big
though.
reveal was that it was you doing it to me. Like, still be fucking nuts that aliens were doing it.
Would you feel a little stupid though? Because like they're making fun of you. Like, would you?
No, like, fucking aliens. You kid, this is crazy,
right? This is where my mind goes when I start thinking about this shit.
That would be, if it was you, I'd be like, well, this sucks, man.
What a letdown.
Braden just really got one over on me. That's fucking nuts. Aliens,
yeah.
that's still holy shit. Aliens are here.
Yeah.
Aliens are real.
They might be
and they're
God.
here.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but they're like they're way more advanced, but at the same time they're like really chill and like they're able to like somehow translate English to you and like really break it down simply to you. Like we were just fucking with you. You had no idea.
I'd laugh.
You're a fucking ape. You're a stupid fucking monkey.
I mean, I'd agree with them if they're able to pull that on me. I'm not like be like, no, I'm not. Shut up. I'd be like, yeah, absolutely.
Right, that's it. We're fighting.
That's it. Send your best guy down here. Let's go. Let's go. Me and him. This is a long time coming. Yeah. I'd be like, yeah, you're right. Fuck.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I'm doing good. All right. How are you doing, David?
Doing all right.
Yeah?
All right. Burned out. But
Yeah. Especially
all
after that fucking mindfuck question I just gave you.
Yeah, threw me.
Yeah.
I'm spinning right now. I can't grasp reality. I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's
Doing
good.
all right, though. Yeah.
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 Well, hopefully by this time next week, you're like, oh my God, dude. Life has been just so much better. I went to the Rapids. Something crazy. Maybe.
No.
No?
No.
Just want to live burnt out.
No, but I don't think going to the Rapids is gonna it's gonna solve that.
Yeah, I thought that was like the most ridiculous thing to say. But I'm happy you're here, bud. I'm happy to be doing this podcast
Happy to be here, man.
with my buddy, old pal.
Happy to be here. Let's talk menu.
Yeah, let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
I'm feeling a little hungry.
I'm always hungry.
Right?
I can eat.
Huh.
Gotta eat.
Gotta fucking eat.
Checkers.
All right, David. Should we jump into the price of this menu?
Yeah, we should.
Get it
I have no fucking idea
right?
what the budget would have been.
I mean, dude, we're talking solely like a couple locations, like a few. Good Casa.
Fucking 20 million.
Higher.
That's kind of ridiculous to me, but
Yeah.
30 million.
A little bit higher.
37 million.
35.
35 million.
35, dude. And it's like, fuck, man. Where does that money go? Where's 35 fucking million dollars go?
Anya Joy Taylor.
Yeah.
She don't come cheap.
Well, little fun
Don't come
fact.
cheap. And
This
she
could be.
She was great.
Oh, dude.
She was really good.
And I first saw her when she did that chess movie, and I was very, very pleasantly surprised.
Queen's Gambit?
And I was also like really
Did you not
attracted
see-
because she's got that
Did you
alien.
not see? You brought it up. You said that last week,
Did
and I told you it's disrespectful.
Ah,
Say it like it's a good thing, but yeah.
it's all the talk about
Um,
aliens,
That fucking you not see Split?
Yeah, I did.
She's the girl in Split.
Yeah, but I still saw it
You
afterwards.
saw it after the
Yeah.
Queen's Gambit.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I didn't.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
Never saw the Queen's Gambit.
Well, I was gonna
Saw
say
Split though. Split, pretty good movie.
pretty good movie. And that was my thing. Was like, why would the fuck would I be into chess? I don't even know how to play chess. And she was just getting me into it. I was like, fuck, you know what? I swear to God, after I watched the movie.
Anyone who read the book, The Queen's Gambit, said her character is definitely a black girl.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's
they're
like a twist.
They're like, it's wild that
That Netflix
that
or whoever made it.
That they're like, we're not getting a black girl to do this. All right?
Yeah.
Black girls can't play chess. Everybody knows that.
See, and
Everybody knows they can play, but they don't play.
do you know what they can play, though? The Little Mermaid.
There we go.
There we go.
They can.
Woo! Let's go, Disney!
They can't play chess though.
Yeah, that's right. But you know who else can play chess? Andrew Tate. Come on, gotta throw that name out there.
Why?
Why? What?
Why do you gotta throw that name out there?
Oh, bro, think of the clicks, think of the views, dude. Maybe he fucking hears us. He's like,
You said that like I was gonna be like, yeah, you do, yeah, fuck yeah.
put that hashtag in there.
Do you know who else can play chess?
Fuck, David.
And it's much more relevant to the 5-6 Kings podcast.
Oh. Eddie Murphy?
No.
Ah, God damn it.
Alonzo Harris.
Oh,
It's chess. It ain't checkers. I'm playing him.
Oh, fuck.
Did this movie was it in theaters at any point?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I got to say, though, maybe that budget went to this fucking fresh chef. She's fucking high dining. She's the fucking chef. She's a 3 Michelin star restaurant chef. Michelin. Which I guess it only goes up to 3 or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was an episode a while ago where you were trying to tell me it goes up to 5, and I was like, no, my buddy Chris works in restaurants. And he's like, no, it only goes up to 3.
Ah, yeah, look at that. I love it, David. That memory is just on point. But yeah, so maybe that budget went to her because she was like, that's a fucking 3-star chef, and she's on set all day long making fine cuisine, and it'd be great. The director's like,
She's not making $35 million.
No. But the director was like, no, yeah, fuck it. I wanted actual food that we're explaining in the menu.
Dude, I would push so hard for that if I was the
he's just
director.
eating the entire
I'd
time.
be like, we need Dominique Crenn to be here making real food for this movie. It's got to be authentic.
And he's like talking down to the cast while he's eating that fine dine. Yeah.
He's like, Dominique, this is fucking
Oh my
amazing.
God, this is
my God, Dominique.
So yeah, that's I guess where the $35 million went. But David, how much do you think they made?
Do you just have box office in the theaters, or do we have what they like made? like the net
I-
gross worldwide? Because like it's on HBO Max.
Yeah.
you get a pretty penny to put on HBO Max. Do you just have what theater made?
Yeah, I just have gross worldwide for
So I'm gonna guess like
box office.
I don't know. I didn't know about this movie until you mentioned it, which doesn't say a ton.
And the
but
release,
I'm gonna say 65 million.
that's a pretty good guess, David, but it's a little bit higher. By a little bit, I mean like did
You mean by a little bit? You mean like they made like 100 and
a little bit less.
110 million?
Less, not a little bit less.
90 million.
Less.
75 million.
79.
79.
So I was like, a little bit. We're talking 19 million more.
So 79 million from the box office.
So they made double.
And then they made double, but also the HBO Max paid too.
Oh, I'm sure they made more
Take
than
the
that
movie
because that's
and
just
all
box
that
office.
stuff,
Yeah.
It's on HBO Max. It's on Hulu.
Yeah.
Rent it. Good for them.
Good for them. And, they're still going to end up making more probably long term for other deals and other.
Oh, it's the long game, baby.
Yeah, the
It's all
Blu-rays.
about the long game.
Think about the Blu-ray.
Oh,
money.
I only think about the Blu-rays, man.
Reason why I say that, though, is because this movie came out November 18th, 2022. So hasn't been out even for a year yet. And they're just, fuck.
Raking it in.
Yeah, just raking in
Good
all
for
that
them.
money. Yeah, good for them. So, David.
What do the critics say?
Oh, David. IMDb gave it a 7.2 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes give it an 88%. Letterboxd, because who doesn't like their box being lettered?
Everyone fucking...
Everyone does.
Everyone letters their box.
Yeah. They gave it a 3.7 out of 5, and Google users give it a 79%, which surprised by the Google users, because that means they went there and they gave that thumbs down.
Yeah.
Which is different than
21% of them were like,
Yeah,
nah.
which is different than like a 79,
They were like, not for me.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. They're like the menu, yes or no, and they said no. What do you give it?
I've been thinking about this for a little bit. I'm pondering.
How long?
Like a couple hours. Man, it's
It's understandable.
It's been in the back there, and it is swayed a few decimals. But I'm gonna go with a 7.9. I'm gonna side with the Google users. Give it a 7.9.
Yeah. It's weird. I really liked this movie.
I really liked it too.
But I gotta think like it's not better than The Town.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
yeah.
like
That's exact. I swear to God, that's what I was comparing it to. I was like, I gave The Town an 8.3.
Yeah. This is it's very fun.
Yes.
I would probably watch it again so I wouldn't go to HBO Max, put it on start to finish.
Yeah.
This one, if it's on TV, I'd be like, yeah, fucking nothing else. I'll fucking watch this.
Fuck yeah.
I'll give it like a 7. I'll match you 7.9.
Fuck yeah.
You me and the Google users.
Oh yeah. Look at that. Google users.
Yeah.
You guys, I mean, you didn't really pick the score, but you just helped us kind of feel more at home with
There
the
you go.
score. Yeah. But I mean, they deserve it. They deserve that 7.9. It's a great fucking film. Like David was saying, it's like I wouldn't throw it on the background. It's something if you're going to watch it, you want to listen and really hone in on the all the dialogue and stuff. The dialogue was great. The acting was great. It's weird because I feel like you're so easily sucked into this film and and that dialogue, the line after line, it makes you never lose focus on like what's going on. You never want to like stop watching and see what happens next. And what I think they do really well is they summarize certain things that you question in the beginning about halfway through the film. That opens up other questions, though, that actually brings you in even more. Now you're actually more invested rather than the overall storyline as to what's going to happen. Now you're more invested into the characters and the way that they care and the way that they think and all these things that normally you don't get from a movie. It's usually the other way around. Like what is the end? What is the end storyline rather than the characters? And this movie does a really good job at making you care about the characters more than the story itself.
And you've got to have a question to have an answer. Yeah, because an answer without a question
Isn't a question.
it's a statement.
Oh,
There we go. They win any awards?
there you go. That's right, David. Oh, man. Here we go. The Menu Awards. Look at that. So,
Look
David.
at that.
Yeah. So, David, got the best internet in the house, working hard, and we are here on the screen.
Wins 48 nominations.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, good for them.
Fuck your mother in the face, that's a lot of nominations.
Yeah, a lot of nominations, but, you know, we're going to get to the good ones. They were nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. Ralph Fiennes, can't say his last name, but he is the chef in this movie, and he is fucking amazing. I mean, drop dead. Amazing. They also were nominated for Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. Anya Taylor-Joy, she definitely deserves that.
She was great.
Yeah, she knocked it out the fucking park. Guys, a lot of nominees.
Did they put the wins anywhere specific, or are they just scattered in there?
Oh, they scatter them out, David.
It's sort of a nightmare.
And IMDb, they kind of switched it up. They gave a little different, you know.
It looks very different.
But the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards, they were nominated for Best Screenplay.
I mean, as they should be.
As they should be.
Critics' Choice Super Awards.
That is something we haven't heard yet. I
No.
don't remember the Super
The
Awards.
CCSAs?
Oh,
You've never heard of the CCSAs, dude?
I haven't.
Oh, dude, they're super.
I've been missing out.
Yeah. What'd they win?
They won Best Actor in a Horror Movie. Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah, we'll roll with that.
We'll roll with that.
Fiennes.
That might be better. That sounds better. But they were nominated for a Sunset Film Circle Award for Best Supporting Actress.
Fuck the SFCAs. Man.
Yeah,
Fuck
I
them.
just wanted to give Hung Chau her flowers because she killed it.
Well, not enough to win.
Yeah, you're right.
Fuck Hung Chau. Racist name, by the way.
Super racist, but guys,
Have a white name, Hung Chau.
what the fuck?
Can't be coming at us with those racist names.
Yeah, man.
Jesus.
It's 2023.
Yeah, get it together.
But guys, they won the North Texas Film Critic Association.
The NTFCAs?
Yes, the Gary Murray Award for Best Ensemble. Wow, look at that. I mean, it really was. If you think about it, the
It was-
acting, the
Gary
the
Murray
cast.
knows his shit. It was
Yeah.
the best.
And fun fact, talking about, Best Ensemble, these actors really got to really play it up as much as they can. The little fun fact that you saw earlier where they have to stay on set, apparently all day long. It's not entirely true. Yep. Yeah. The thing is that they shot from every direction. So they said, the director was like, listen, all you fucking actors, you ensemble, you got to stay acting the entire time. We're not taking breaks. We're not taking close-ups. We're not taking different angles. You're all acting 24/7. And that's what they did. And that's why they won that fucking award.
Brayden, that was fun.
Right?
That was fun.
Thanks. Yeah, but I mean, you saw that. They had a lot of wide angles over the dining restaurant, and they showed all the fucking action, dude. So they're basically saying, hey, listen, don't stop acting because we might use your angle. You don't know when we're going to stop.
It's like, you ever see Smokers Only or Smokers Allowed?
No.
Oh, it's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the best play. It's like a maybe 90-minute play.
Oh, nice.
It's very good.
Nice. Fuck.
Yeah, Smokers Allowed. Check it out.
Man, gotta see that. Wow. So, guys, The Menu. It's a great fucking film. David, should we take a little break and come back and start this fucking film?
For editing purposes?
For editing purposes?
Oh, fuck yeah, we should.
Oh, dude.
Oh, guys, we're going to take a quick break for editing purposes, but stick around because we're going to jump into this fucking movie,
That's right.
into this menu. And we're back.
Wow.
Hey, Derek Jeter, fuck you.
Some of that tasty fudge.
Oh, F you, DJ.
Don't you just love it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Get the fucking fudge all over the
Brayden,
place.
take us through, baby.
All right,
Take us
guys.
through.
Guys, we are going to serve you up a fucking menu. All right? Yeah, Searchlight Pictures invites us to experience the menu.
Here's the interesting thing. Searchlight now has the rights to poo. Bum, ba-da-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-
I like that.
That used to be 20th Century Fox.
Yeah.
Did Searchlight buy 20th Century Fox?
20th Century Fox is still around. I don't know. They maybe work in cahoots with each other or something, and maybe like Searchlight
You start doing some shit.
Productions is like a.
Google some shit.
They probably work together. But yeah, guys, we open to Anya Taylor-Joy smoking a cig, and Beast from X-Men tells her to stop smoking as it will kill her palate, and she is so fucking cool in this movie. She's like, well, let my palate die happy, all right? And then he goes up to her. Find out her name is Margot. He says, Margot, tonight is the biggest night of my fucking life, okay? The fucking flavor profiles, it's all super delicate. And the smoke is going to fuck all that up, please. And he's like fucking begging her, which is crazy he cares so much about her experience with the food.
I mean, it's not.
Well, I guess, yeah, because we find out that he's paying.
And it's
$1,250 per head. So they're making a lot of dough. But we find out there's only 12 heads.
that's still
So pretty a lot.
that's
Pretty good amount of money.
$2,500 per table of 2.
Mm-hmm. That's 2,500 times 6, which equals 15.
Yeah.
15. Wow, look at that.
$15,000 an evening.
Took me 1 second longer than it was supposed to.
Why?
Because I haven't calculated out how fast I'm supposed to make these type of calculations in my head. What if I was like autistic like that?
That'd be pretty great. It'd be pretty great if I just learned that.
where I knew in my head how off I was time wise to my answer. All right, guys. So Beast tells Margot to go with
Searchlight is a subsidiary of 20th Century Fox.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. Thanks, David.
Yeah.
So Beast tells Margot to go with the flow, let it be magical, and she says, "Hey, it's your dime." So we do, find out that she's on his payroll, and not like that, but you get what I'm saying.
On his payroll, they're on a date, and he's paying.
Yeah, but she's cool. She's really cool. So we see 3 douchebags pull up. Margot notices some old dude and says, "Fuck," which is kind of weird.
What's that all about?
Yeah, and what's weird is Beast does not react at all. But then he notices
He's like, yeah, fuck, those old fucks are gonna be here. Fuck that old man and his ugly fucking wife.
Yeah, they're all fucking old. And then he notices Lillian Bloom, which we will only refer to as the critic. She is the critic. She's a reviewer. That's what her job is.
It's not what I planned on referring to her as.
What do you want to refer to her as?
The lawyer from Ozark.
We could do that. I love her from Ozark.
That is the only thing I know her from.
Yeah. I've seen her in other things, but that is...
You said Lillian Bloom, like everyone's going to be like, oh, yeah, Lillian Bloom.
No, yeah, that's her name in this movie.
I don't think a single... Oh, it's not even the actress name?
No. Yeah, I know, right?
Right,
it's a first for me. Yeah. But that's what she does in this movie.
She's a food
role.
critic.
Yeah, she's a food critic. But they board the boat, and holy shit, John Leguizamo, I totally said his last name wrong, who played Sid in Ice Age, is on the boat. He's got some girl with him who we come to find out is his assistant, and he gives some like boat joke to the fucking douchebag crew, and they did not give a shit. They're like, oh, yeah, we're on a boat.
Went out of his way to do it, too. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, man, these people are going to recognize me. And then he's like, boats, jokes, you know?
Yeah, like,
Huh?
yeah, we're on a boat. It was awkward. So they walk in, and Margot and Beast notice Sid from Ice Age, and they're like, holy shit, that's fucking Sid, dude. That's fucking Sid. And they get their first dish of the evening, and it is raw local oyster in a mignonette emulsion with lemon caviar and an oyster leaf. Wow. I'm going to have a tough time pronouncing a lot of these fucking... I wrote it down, too.
It looked nuts. Looks
Yeah.
awesome.
It's like it's little Dragon Ball, Dragon Balls in the fucking... I'm like, oh my God, I would love to try that. Make a wish.
It's the caviar.
Yeah, it's the caviar. No, I know.
All right.
But Beast is immediately
Make
taken...
a wish.
you round up the Dragon Balls and you make a wish.
And you make a wish? That's a thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. And then the dragon Shenron appears and...
All right. The I forgot about the Shenron.
Yeah. Well, fucking do your homework, David. But
You know who the fuck you do this podcast with? You're going to come in here and not have Dragon Ball Z knowledge?
you fucking kidding me, bro? But Beast is immediately taken out of his fucking... He's taking out his phone, taking pictures, talking about how this is the chef's classic, and it's fucking lemon pearls made with fucking algae, and... this immediately builds the dynamic. Margot says it's fucking pond scum, delicious, and Beast eats it and literally like fucking has like an orgasm.
Oh my God, it's going to be such a good night. It's going to be such a great night.
This is laughable. It's so good, it's laughable. It's like, dude, calm down, bro. It's fucking lemon pearls. That's what he called them. But Margot is like, yeah, I like oysters. And he's like, no, you don't fucking get it. It's about the balance of the products, all right? You need the mouthfeel of the mignonette. And she's like, don't say mouthfeel. He's like, I already did it. And they're flirting a little bit. And she's, she's playing like nice. She's not really into it, but she's like trying.
But she can tell it means a lot to him.
Yeah.
So she's
Good way to
like,
put
great.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah.
And we get like a pan shot that shows they're not far from an island from where they took off from, which is kind of funny. But they go to the island, and I wrote this down right before I saw how big the island actually is.
The N-word?
Yeah. No, I said it didn't seem that much bigger than Little Munyon. From like the shot, it didn't really seem that big, Yeah. But they said it's like 12 acres of forests and fucking it's like surrounded by ocean too. It's on an island, but yeah, they got enough to be able to build a little farm on that fucking island. But Margot says this is like prom, and Beast is like says something about how he never had a girl fucking to prom. They all
like,
said
I didn't
no.
go to prom.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, you poor baby. Well, fuck them bitches." And I'm like, God, dude, she is so cool.
Yeah, fuck them.
That's the one thing
She's saying, I'm here. I'm got the coolest girl here.
Yeah, but they're walking down the dock, and they're checking in the island. There's a woman that checks Beast in and says, oh, this must be Miss Westervelt, which it is not. And Beast is super fucking awkward about it, talking about, no, well, it was a change of plans. Miss Westervelt couldn't, this is Margot. And the woman is fucking weird. She's like checking him in, takes a long pause, and says, welcome. We'll make your evening as pleasant as possible. But just like so like emotionless almost, where you're like, what the fuck's going on with her?
Like I don't give a fuck about your story, dude.
Yeah.
Just let us know so I don't say the wrong name when they get here, all right?
Yeah.
I don't care what's going on in your life.
Yeah. Beast is overly apologizing, being awkward, and Margot is the complete opposite, as always. So fucking cool. She's like, I know how to play chess. They see the boat leave, and they all group together and follow the women who check them in, and they're like walking on the beach, and Sid from Ice Age is happy because people know who he is. They're like literally walking on the beach. They're like walking towards the beach, and he's like, see? They know who I am.
Like, you got anything working? They doing an Ice Age 4? What's going on? Like...
Which I think they did. They might be on Ice Age 6. They might have give Sid his own spin-off for all we fucking know. They did. They did short films with Sid, and it was all about him like finding the nut.
Short films don't count.
Yeah, you're right.
No, he didn't find the nut. It was the squirrel.
They actually
He's not the squirrel.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah. I'm fucking having a goddamn concussion thinking like that. Obviously, Sid is the fucking He's it's right on the tip of my tongue.
He's the man.
Yeah, he's the man.
So we got Ice Age, The Meltdown, No Time for Nuts, Ice Age, Dawn of the Dinosaurs, Ice Age Continental, Ice Age Collision Course,
Holy fuck.
and Ice Age The Adventures of Buck Wild.
I didn't know we had so many Ice Ages.
There's so many Ice Ages. That's too many.
Dude, wow.
That's too many. That's 7. I don't know how many are real films. That's 7 things.
And you know what? I actually enjoyed Ice Age.
You know what? 5 of them are real films.
Wow.
Nuts.
Good for them. Good for Sid. Good for John Leguizamo. He fucking deserved it. Because he's the best in that film, too. His fucking character, Sid.
Absolutely.
Oh, my
It's the
God.
best.
He's like,
Steals the show.
he's
That
like,
guy.
oh, I just thought I'd give him a lisp. And then he started fucking, everyone loves him. So if you're ever lost and you're like, I want people to like me, just give yourself a lisp. And there you go. But they're on the beach, and they're talking about Hawthorne Island, which is the name of the island that they're on. And it is 12 acres of forest and pasture. They also are harvesting scallops that they're going to be eating tonight. That's why they're on the beach. They're showing how they're fucking harvesting them. Critic woman or lawyer from Ozark is talking about how she likes the sense of it being a sort of a biome of culinary ideas, already given off like she's a fucking know-it-all because she's a food critic person.
You hate her. She uses words that people don't use.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild.
And what's even better is this fucking dude that's with her, which I refer to as the
Wait, let me guess. You either call him a simp or a cuck or...
better.
What do you call him?
This one's so much worse, actually. I call him the kiss-asser. He did. I might refer to him as the simp or the cuck at some point throughout the film.
But he's the kiss ass.
Yeah, he's the kiss asser because there's one reason why he's in this film, and it's to kiss this girl's ass. That's it. That's
absolutely.
Yeah. But the guy that's with her is talking about immediately after she says that. She's like, right? Like, it functions like a Epicurean salon. And then I don't even know what the fuck that means. But
Saloon.
But she immediately she's so suck up. She's like, no, I like Biome better, I think. And then he's like, no, yeah. Biome's much better. Yeah. And it's so quick that you almost miss it unless you like really listen to him. You're like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. The fucking dialogue that they're having. Margot and Beast follow up right behind them. And they're talking about how we've reached this. Margot, she goes, we have reached the base camp of Mount Bullshit. And I'm like, dude, that is a bit harsh. She is so cool.
Yeah, but like immediate, like fuck you, Margot.
Yeah, that's
right?
yeah.
We've reached the base camp of Mount Bullshit. Enjoy the meal.
Well, that was the reason, because something was more cool than her for a second. So she's like, I gotta be more cool. Like, this beach is pretty cool. The fresh scallops is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, you know what? I changed my mind. She's right. Gotta make sure she's the coolest.
But now they're walking all over the island, from beach to the garden to the forest to the smokehouse. We're at the smokehouse. We hear as they're walking up, Sid from Ice Age say he's personal friends with the chef, and the woman who checked them in starts going on about how our smokehouse is in the Nordic tradition. We use the meat of the dairy cows only, which we age for an astonishing 152 days to relax the protein strains. And she opens the door, and we see a bunch of meat hanging. And one of the douchebags asks the woman who checked them in, so what happens if you serve it on the 153rd day? Does all hell break loose? And she goes like a fucking psycho, well, I suppose the bacteria would introduce itself to the consumer's bloodstream and spread into their spinal membranes, after which point he or she would become incapacitated and shortly thereafter expire. So, yes, all hell would break loose. And they all start kind of like awkwardly, like, you're trusting that woman with all your food right now?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So what does she say next? Just thankfully, we're very good at what we do.
Thankfully, we're pros.
We're pros.
And then she opens it up, or they go to, now they're walking again, and they show... Or no, they don't walk again. They just cut immediately to the worker's house. So she opens up like a fucking garage door, and it's literally like a military base camp where it's bed by bed by bed. And at the end, there's one shitter and like a couple showers. And everyone is kind of like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is where you guys live and work. And she's so passionate. I mean, she's not that passionate. She's passionate, but she's like also like a psychopath. You know, like she doesn't have too much emotion in her voice, but she emphasizes certain things in certain ways. But she tells them that this is where they all live except Chef. And then she also says, here we are family. Each day starts at 6 a.m. with 5 hours of prep work. We harvest, we ferment, we slaughter, we marinate, we liquefy, we spherify, we gel. And then immediately Anya Taylor-Joy, Margot, is like, we gel? Says it to Beast, and we gel, and just like Margot's like, what the fuck? Like, how did she hear me?
Yeah. All right, yeah.
I'm in the way back. How did she
gel?
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah. So this is the point where I'm like, okay, this is not an average background character. This has got to be who else? Who else is this guy? Who am I going to refer to as this woman?
Sweeney.
Close. We're gonna give a shout out to Kill Bill. This is the right-hand woman.
Never would have said that. Are you kidding me?
And why?
You thought there was a chance that
David,
I was gonna...
Why would I refer to her as the right-hand woman?
So it makes sense, but
because
I've never once referenced Kill Bill because she's Asian.
No, because she's a sushi lady who uses a sushi sword to make a real sushi sandwich.
She doesn't do any of that. She's just Asian, and she works at a restaurant. You never see her making food.
All right,
She's
maybe
the fucking host.
I'm trying to connect shit, bro.
Nah, this is racist. You're like, Kill Bill was real Asian, and this lady. Her eyes are all slanty, so yeah.
Yeah.
Sushi. They like sushi. Yeah, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it. David will know it.
David will
know.
love
I'll
David's gonna love
I'll be
this.
like, David, who is she? Who is she? You'll get it. It makes so much sense.
All right. So then says, dinner is typically 4 hours, 25 minutes. Each day ends well past 2 a.m. in the morning. So yes, it's best that we all live here, which is crazy. That means they're getting less than 4 hours of sleep a day. They're waking up at 6 a.m. They're working past 2 a.m. I mean, it's fucking crazy.
Absolutely.
One of the douchebags has a really good question and says, you ever get burnt out? And Chef's right-hand woman is like,
She goes, no, we got
burnt out?
every Sunday we go to the Rapids Water Park.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah. See, there you go. Chef's like, listen, I got the key. You guys
Yeah.
are never gonna get burnt out. You can work off of 4 hours of sleep every night. The only thing you got to do is you got to go to the Rapids on Sunday.
Every Sunday, we're
Every
going to the
Sunday.
Rapids.
Oh my god, that was great. But no, she's like, burnt out? No. Do I look like I get burnt out? But she says, Chef holds himself to the highest standard, and so do we. We never burn anything unless by design to make delicious. Now who's hungry? It's like almost it's like fake. But they're now walking past Chef's house, which Beast finds out when asking Chef's right-hand woman, which we also find out her name is Elsa, but fuck that. I'm going to keep calling her right-hand woman. Because, like, why? Who the fuck? Elsa? Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? She tells him it's Chef's place, but even we are not allowed in there. Because, like, it's kind of like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Like, you're not going to go back to Willy Wonka's main pad. Like, he's not going to bring you to the back where the fucking elevator is, you know?
No, come on. She could have been so much better there.
Oh, where
I can
the...
bring you back where the fucking Oompa Loompas polish them off every night. Like, she's not going to let you see that.
Yeah, that was much better than what I fucking said. All right, so Beast is a bit let down. Margot tells him, come on, we mustn't disturb the Lord High Emperor of Sustenance. And I'm like, wow, she is so cool. They finally enter the restaurant, and they go through this big turning door. It doesn't, like, open like a normal door does. I know I said turn like as if doors don't fucking turn. It's got one axis, and it turns on.
It's a big door, and it opens like...
From the middle rather than the side.
No, because it sounds like it's two doors.
Well, yeah, because it
It
spins.
turns, and then there's just like... There's a narrow... walk you can walk through there's a narrow thing in the middle and you can walk in on both sides of it.
There you go.
We nailed it.
Yeah.
We fucking nailed it.
But we're walking through. It's like, oh man, this is a pretty nice restaurant. I'd definitely like to eat
Turning
here.
door, but just like different than other turning doors.
Yeah,
You get it.
yeah.
You've seen it. You
on.
know what we're talking about.
Oh man, but it's cool because the kitchen's open, so you could see all the cooks working.
Hey, cooked in sight?
Huh?
Cooked in sight?
I'm confused of your reference.
Must be right.
Is that like a slogan or like a?
There's some...
It's got to be like a chef show.
It might be Howley's in West Palm. It might be Captain Charlie's Roof Grill in Juneau.
Ooh.
One of them have that slogan because you can see into their kitchen.
Well, fuck. Maybe someone's listening. Like, I fucking love that place, dude. How do they not remember?
It's two great places.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
You say yeah.
Jupiter.
You ever been to either of them?
No.
Neither of them are in Jupiter.
I thought you said they were just in Jupiter.
No, I said West Palm. I said Juneau.
Oh, Juneau.
All right, open your fucking
Juneau's
ears.
Jupiter, baby.
No, it is not. Get the fuck out of here.
What is it?
Get the fuck out of here. Juneau isn't Jupiter.
It's a Gardens.
Juneau is its own town. Do you think Gardens is West Palm?
Well, it's a part of Jupiter.
Gardens?
No, Juneau.
No.
What?
Juneau Beach, Florida is its own town.
It's not a part of Jupiter.
It's a part of Palm Beach County, Florida, but it's a town within that county.
Wow. Learn something new every day. I've been living here my whole life. Thought Juneau was just a pier, just like a street, just like a small area within its larger community. I guess not.
No.
Wow.
Juneau Beach, Florida.
Man, look at that. It's a special time to be alive.
Dude, it's the best.
Guys, so yeah, they're in the fucking restaurant, and they sit down at their seats, and Chef's right-hand woman makes it a point of telling Margot that she'll be sitting in Miss Westervelt's seat. Almost to like rub it in, like to dig it in, you know?
You were not the first choice. I don't know if you're aware of that. There was another woman that he wanted to bring here,
I know we talked about it when
but
we first
they broke
met.
up.
Yeah.
So you're now in the seat that she was going to be sitting in had he gotten his way.
Yeah. Now, she is one of the only people with her back fully turned to the kitchen. Thought I'd just make a little note of it now. But Beast is sitting obviously in front of her, facing the kitchen, and he ends up seeing Chef in the kitchen. And right before that, though, I forgot to say, Chef's right-hand woman tells him that they are, not to photograph any of the dishes, but feel free to observe the kitchen. Chef strongly feels that the beauty in his creation lies in the ephemeral nature. Wow, look at that. Just big words all over the place. Beast can't wait and runs over to the kitchen, and he asks the cook if those were made with a Paco jet. The cook says, "That's exactly right, sir." Beast tells Margot a Paco jet can produce a powder-sized snow-like texture and says he has one. And the cook says, "You really know your stuff, Mr. Beast." Beast asks, "You know my name?" And cook says, "Oh, we like to know everyone who dines with us." And I'm like, dude, that was hot. Beast says, "Is Chef around here somewhere?" And cook cuts him off. He's like,
"Why don't you take your seat?"
"Yeah, why don't you take a seat? We're about to serve." Beast goes back. It's so fucking
the best. Why don't you take a seat?
He I would have immediately been like, "Hey, listen, man, you're the fucking cook, all right? Chef's right-hand woman just told me to observe your ass, okay? Shut up." But no, he says, "Okay." And
Jesus.
walks. Yeah, so he's also a simp. Got anything to say about that, David?
No, who's also a simp?
Mr. Beast.
Oh, he is not a simp.
Yeah, he's not a simp. He's just in love with the art, so he's like, "All right, I respect you." And he goes and takes his seat.
He knows beauty when he sees it.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, exactly. And we see an old woman really quick in the corner. Nothing's brought up about her. She's just drinking wine. We didn't see her on the boat. We don't know anything about her. Margot tells Beast that she noticed he didn't ask for the cook's name. And Beast is like, "Well, yeah,
He's a nothing person.
yeah, he's
Why the fuck would I ask that piece of shit what his name is, Margot?"
And then immediately stops talking when he sees the chef. And he's just like, it's a moment that he just seen God. It's beautiful. He's about to cry. Not really, but we see from Beast perspective that Chef's right-hand woman tells Chef something which makes Chef look at Margot and Beast, and he kind of like freaks out. He's like, "Oh my god, he's looking at me. He's looking at us." And then we see the beach with the words "amuse-bouche" appear. I think that's maybe how you pronounce it.
Amuse-bouche.
Amuse-bouche. The server brings it out and says, "Here we have a compressed and pickled cucumber melon, milk snow, and charred lace. Yeah, enjoy." Almost thought it said ice. It's like, no, caught myself. It also shows a shot of the food with the food explanation in the corner. It kind of does that, which I like about this movie. It like shows each dish in its own like nice shot with the description. Just in case you were confused. Just in case maybe you want to try it out yourself one day.
Some of them are funny.
Yeah. The critic is like, "Oh, this is this ongoing obsession with snow. This fucking kiss ass says it's officially a plague and no one is immune." It's such a fucking ridiculous line. The critic is like looking for something to fucking shit on him about, and just being like, "Oh, this fucking chef's got such an obsession with the snow shit." And immediately the kiss asser is like, "Yeah, it's a fucking plague and no one is immune." It's just, he's so good. He's so good. Like, if you need someone to have your back while talking shit, you know what I'm saying? Like a roast session.
This guy.
This is the fucking dude.
This guy would be like, "Yeah."
It's the goddamn Riddler. Critic also says, you can taste a little goat right at the end, a little kick, but she didn't name what species. So she's like upset.
The guy said she did say there was milk in it. She goes, but she didn't say what species.
Oh, I thought she was talking about the goats themselves.
She was saying, because it was a scallop was the food, some kind of dairy in it. And he's like, they did say there was milk in it. She's like, Didn't say what species. Like, they're absolutely right.
They
didn't. It could be goat milk.
Yeah.
You know your stuff.
That's a good point. There you go. Because it's like, how many different
Suck.
species of goats are there? Then we see, the woman that's with Sid from Ice Age saying before she pitches him something, she just wants to say thank you for the last 2 years. This opportunity has been and before she could finish, Sid from Ice Age is like, the best of your life, huh?
Yeah, many more.
Yeah,
Let's
many
go.
more. She's saying, I'm trying to do a goodbye toast. Can you please just let me do that? And he says, it ain't. No. And she's like, yes, it is. He's like, no, it's not. And they go back and forth, being like, he wants her to stay working for him. She doesn't want to stay.
She's given the fucking credit card, her company phone.
Yeah.
Her key to his apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Her key to the apartment that his wife doesn't know about.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yep. Yeah. And then we cut to Chef's right-hand woman very aggressively taking the towel off of Margot's lap, I think. Is that what she did? Was it off of her lap or the chair? I don't know. I couldn't see.
Her like coat was on the back of the chair.
Okay. Yeah, and Margot was like, what the fuck was that? But yeah, one of the douchebags starts talking about their lives. I love this. This is the fucking greatest, dude. One of the other ones says, this is what we're doing now? Talking about our lives? One of them says, oh, so we're close? Like they're like questioning each other's friendship. And
so
like,
the one he asked him, he was like, how are things going with whoever? He's like, we broke up, all that shit. We got in a big fight.
yeah.
It's like, was it your fault? It's like, no, it's her fault. She made me have sex with her friend. Of course it's my fault. I'm a bad person.
Yeah. And then, at least the biggest douche knows he's the biggest douche. So I start referring to him as the biggest douche because he's the biggest douche.
Biggest douche.
There you go.
He also, in the show Silicon Valley, tried to purchase Pied Piper for like $2 billion or something crazy. But he was like an Arabian prince, and he was going to use Pied Piper to like steal people's information and stuff.
Who's Pied Piper?
Pied Piper? It's a middle out compression system.
Oh,
owned by Richard Hendricks and Ehrlich Bachman, Dinesh and Guilfoyle. Jared Dunn is their director of operations.
Yeah. Nice. Well, all right. The douchebags toast to work and money. They get down to the nitty gritty. They get done with their fucking conversation, and they basically realize they're all on the same page. We're all a bunch of pieces of shits. We're all a bunch of douchebags. Let's toast to some work and money.
Toast to money, baby.
Yeah. But now I get more specific. The black douchebag says, we're pathetic, aren't we? And then the Asian douchebag says, oh my God, dude, somebody shoot us. And it's like, oh my God, dude, these guys are the worst.
And guys, for editing purposes, we're going to take a quick break. But stick around. There's so much more douchebags.
Oh, yeah.
And we're back.
Hey.
Fuck you, Derek Jeter. F you.
DJ. That's the only thing that this menu's missing, David. Some good old fudge.
Good old fudge.
Or at least we haven't seen it yet,
I don't think we ever see it.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But Beast. Guys, we're back. Beast tells Margot he wants to live inside this thing. And she's like, yeah, talk fucking dirty. He's like, no, I'm talking about the fucking food, you dumb shit. The food that we were just served. Look at your fucking plate. Because Margot's not really into the dishes. We're kind of picking that up as the shit goes by. Margot asks him if it's okay that she's not as into this as he is. And then Beast is like, no, yeah, it's totally good. Like, you're the coolest girl here. I'm sitting with the coolest girl.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and then he's like...
You just sit there and look sexy.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, well, you dive into that fucking food, and you fucking get all in it. So he does. Margot asks Beast, what is with this whole food thing? And Beast goes on this really elegant fucking monologue talking about how people idolize athletes, musicians, painters. Well, all those people are fucking idiots. What they do doesn't matter. They play with inflatable balls and ukuleles and shit. Chefs, they play with the raw materials of life itself. Death itself. I've watched every fucking episode of Chef's Table 2 or 3 times. I've watched Chef's 20 times. The Slowicks, the chefs. Yeah, I've watched him explain the exact moment a green strawberry is perfectly unripe. I've watched him play a raw scallop during its last dying contraction of muscle. It's art on the edge of the abyss, which is where God works too. It's the same. And she's like, holy fuck.
She's like, that's the craziest thing anyone's ever said.
I'm so wet right now. She is. Oh my god.
She's getting dirty with herself under the table.
Yeah, it's remarkable. But Margot says, but that was beautifully put, and that she thinks she's starting to get it. A little bit.
She ain't getting shit.
Yeah, she doesn't understand shit.
it's-
She's just being a little.
If anything,
flirt.
she's more lost.
She's just being a fucking tease.
She's
Yeah, tell me more about this food stuff. But we cut back to the beach and we see on the screen it says first course. We cut back to the kitchen and hear an bell ring and we see chef trying something and tells the cook, okay. And then immediately the cook's like, okay, chef. And they start working and doing shit, and all the cooks start building a small mountain of something on the plate. We don't know what it is. We then see chef walk out the kitchen into the dining area and stand for a moment and does one big clap just like that. Then all the cooks stand straight up, military style, right behind him, like in line, in order. Margot's face is like, what the fuck? She jumps around. Which is funny because, fun fact, she said that she did this shooting for 3 months to where her back was turned. And because of the claps and because of having to turn around kind of like suddenly too, she was cranking on her neck. She said her neck was fucked after those 3 months of filming. So, little fun fact.
Hey, if you ever need a neck massage, I got you.
Yeah, there you go. David's he
Anya
is
Joy
a
Taylor.
beast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know where to find me.
We then see Chef walk out. Or no, he already did that. My bad. We hear the critics say, the curtain rises. Just like kind of cuts him off and says that. The chef continues, over the next few hours, you will ingest fat, salt, sugar, protein, bacteria, fungi, various plants and animals, and at times entire ecosystems. But I have to beg of one thing. Do not eat. Taste. Savor. Relish. Consider every morsel that you place inside your mouth. Be mindful, but do not eat. Our menu is too precious for that. And look around you. Here we are on this island. Accept it all and forgive. And on that note, food! And then all the servers bring out the dishes, which I actually like those lines because without trying to spoil anything, he's setting up the minds. Like, if you think back about watching this, like, after knowing everything that happens over the movie and now hearing the lines.
Well, I only live in the present. I never think
back. But he's setting up their subconscious in a way that plays out nicely over the course of the movie. But I love the lines more once when I watch back after knowing what happens in this movie. Makes you appreciate these lines even better. But yeah, all the servers bring out the food. Chef says, our first course is called the island. On your plate are plants from around the island, placed on rocks from the shore, covered in barely frozen filtered seawater, which will flavor the dish as it melts. B starts talking about the dish to Margot, and Chef says, sorry? B fucking overly apologizes. He's about to fucking cry. Chef says, it's perfectly all right. Yes, they are those very same scallops. Now here is what you must...
He started telling her, these are the scallops that the guy got on the boat.
Yeah.
These are from the boat. Chef was like, hey, shut the fuck up. Who's talking while Kurt's talking?
Yeah. Now, here's what you must remember about this dish. We, the people on this...
No, we're not moving on. You know what I just quoted? That's a fucking ridiculous quote.
Oh, man, if I had to guess from that prison movie... No.
You would think. It was Good Burger. When the manager of Mondo Burger is talking to the staff, Keenan tells the chick next to him, he's like, forget about your friends, forget about your family, when Kurt says this. Because Kurt is now your mother and your father. Keenan tells the girl next to him, goes, well, Kurt would look awfully strange and naked. And then Kurt goes, who said that? Who's talking while Kurt's talking?
Jesus,
And
really?
the guy goes, it was him. He uttered something. And then they go over and they get in his face like, fuck you gotta say?
Hey,
you got shit you want to say to Kurt?
Maybe this was maybe that was some inspiration for the writers, you know?
If every movie doesn't take something from Good Burger, it's not a good movie.
Yeah.
All right, it's not a real movie.
That's a good point, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You gotta take a little something from Good Burger.
Got to, man. I mean, they're like the epitome of films.
So
You know?
it's tough. It's like Nutty Professor and then Good Burger like, right under.
Yeah. But he's going on about the dish. He's talking about how we, the people on this island, are not important. The island and the nutrients it provides exist in their most perfect state without us gathering them or manipulating them or digesting them. What happens inside this room is meaningless compared to what happens outside in nature, in the soil, in the water, in the air. We are but a frightened nanosecond. Nature is timeless. Enjoy. And I'm like, holy shit. Once again, just setting us up, just getting our subconscious ready for the future. Everyone starts clapping like it was a fucking amazing monologue. Beast is literally crying, and Margot is shocked. She's like, "Are you crying?" And he's, it's all just so beautiful. I mean, it's almost too beautiful to eat. And then he takes out his phone, starts taking a picture of the food. Margot starts talking.
He like sneaks it though, because he said, "Don't take a picture of the food."
Yeah. And as she starts to talk, Beast immediately cuts her off and asks, "You don't think Chef's mad at me, right?" It's so fucking ridiculous. Margot is like, "You don't have to call him Chef, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't even know about your existence."
I love that she says the first part there.
Yeah.
Chef, you don't have to call him Chef.
Yeah, why is everyone calling him fucking Chef?
You don't work in his kitchen.
Like as if that's God. Like it's just like this.
You have to call him Chef.
Yeah. Like something like personal isn't enough to encapsulate everything about his being.
Yeah.
Like Chef does.
It's his job.
Yeah. But B says he wants Chef to like him. I just want Chef to like me. And Margot says, Beast, you're the customer, all right? You're paying him to serve you. It doesn't really matter whether or not he likes you. And Beast is like, wait, what does that mean? Like he's so concerned whether or not this fucking dude likes him. She tells him to relax and to eat his fucking rock. And then they are brought out a glass of, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this shit right at all, Chassagne Montrachet Premier Cru from 2014, which I looked it up. Costs about $325 per bottle.
Chassagne Montrachet Premier Cru.
No, you pronounced it wrong. We're going to move on.
No, I pronounced it right.
Cut to the critics saying it's half grape and it's there in moments. There's a neediness to the plating. You know, I mean, it's between, or she goes, I mean, it's been tweezers to fuck, but the flavors are there. It's very clean. Just looking, being like, oh, this thing has been tweezered to fuck. Everything's been placed so gently. Cut to Sid from Ice Age and his assistant asking him, you know, how is it? And he says, good. She says, you can't just say good for the show. So we come to find out that they're thinking of making a food show, and Sid is like, oh my God, for fucking crying out loud, it's not brain surgery, okay? It's a goddamn travel food show. And she's like, yeah, but fucking pitch it to me. Like, let's go over this. And Sid goes, okay, so we go to Italy, right? We shoot me in capri pants on a pastel green Vespa, driving around to get some Giuseppe's farm with cheese. I eat the cheese, and then there's a close-up of me, and I close my eyes. I'm fake having an orgasm. Then we fly to Africa, and maybe I talk about how racism isn't so cool, and bingo bongo Emmy time. And she's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you really going to... This what you're going to pitch to 3 streaming fucking services on Monday? And he's like, yeah, let me eat my fucking food.
Yeah, pay me to travel around and eat.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
And then she tells him...
if anyone's watching this and they're like, I really want to pay David Breen to travel around and eat, but I don't know if he'd go for it, I'll go for it.
Oh, I'll fucking...
Don't you worry about that. I'll go for it.
Oh, yeah. She then tells him she doesn't think he can go to South Africa with a DUI, which we find out he has a DUI. So look at that. Bing, bada, boom. Fun fact, who do you think John Leguizamo, the guy who plays Sid from Ice Age, is basing this character off in this film from?
I saw it on your computer, so I don't want to cheat and say it now, so you can say it.
Steven Seagal, which, fun fact, we got to get into it. Why would he portray...
Fun fact, Braden wants to beat the shit out of him.
Oh,
Braden's like, there's nothing more empowering than putting your hands on a 70-year-old man.
Probably 80.
He's like, I've done it... It's 70. I looked it up last week.
Shit.
I put my hands on many 70-year-old men, and there's nothing more empowering.
I'll fucking Conor McGregor him. I don't give a fuck, man. You know about that? You know that reference?
He hit the guy at the bar.
Yeah, he's old, yeah.
The guy wouldn't drink proper 12, and he's like, fuck you.
So more fun fact to this
bitch.
scenario. The reason why he chose Steven Seagal is because when they were working on a film together, fucking John said something funny to Steven, and Steven just sucker punched John right in the fucking gut. Like, pushed him up against the wall and just sucker punched him right in the stomach. John fucking lost out of air because once when you get hit in the solar plexus like that, it closes up your lungs. Why would you do that? and then Steven Seagal said something fucking ridiculous.
You gotta set the tone.
Yeah, you do. You gotta set
Sid
the tone.
knew that when he stepped on set.
Yeah, you really should have, Sid. Like, come on, you fuck around with the big dogs.
You fucked up.
You're
Get
gonna
bit.
Yeah, you're gonna get bit. Which, you know, Steven's all for biting. So, Steven, if you want to bite off more than you could chew, look no fucking further.
There we go. Yeah, Steven, you got a 28-year-old in his prime.
In my fucking
calling
prime.
you out.
Call out of the century. We could do it on YouTube, wherever you want, bro.
You can do it. We don't even need cameras.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Nah,
Braden just wants to put his hands on a 70-year-old man.
I'll rip
Feel powerful.
I'll rip that fake fucking hair right off your head. Anything that makes you feel confident and secure in your fucking self-esteem, I'm gonna rip it apart. That was nice, right? That's good.
It's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a writer for SNL who went on Your Mom's House recently.
Just shit all over.
Talked to Tom Segura about when Steven Seagal was a guest host, and said Steven Seagal pitched an idea where he's like, I'm a hypnotherapist, and a woman comes to me for help, and I hypnotize her into having sex with me. And, we have sex, and it's however long the skit is. And then at the end, I say, you got to come back every week.
No way. No fucking.
That's what this guy said.
Oh,
so,
my God.
I assume it's real. Someone else would have been like,
hey.
Someone else would have been like, that didn't fucking happen.
Let's say that's real. Touche to Steven Seagal. 'Cause that is.
That's a great skit.
That would have been fucking hilarious,
It's a
dude.
great skit.
Might have been the best SNL skit ever.
Of all time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine? That was like the only. Because apparently he didn't want to do any of the jokes, so he had to write. Or not write out. He had to give more okays to a lot of jokes that weren't funny, and that's why they didn't like to work with him on SNL. But would have been great if it was the other way around.
It would be the most infuriating thing in the world to write for SNL.
Yeah, oh yeah.
As
well, all your
Lauren Michaels, you're watching. I'll take the job. Don't worry. I'll
Yeah,
take it.
yeah.
I can be infuriated.
Yeah.
But writing out you're a comedy writer.
Yeah.
Writing out a sketch that is good, and Steven Seagal is like, nah, we can't do that.
Yeah,
Dude, why the fuck is Steven Seagal getting to okay? Say no to my shit. I've worked my whole life to do this. I got fucking Steven Seagal telling me, no, that's not funny. We're not gonna do it. Fuck you, dude.
Oh my God. Can you imagine him doing that too? He's got 4 fucking women rubbing his back while he's wearing a fucking bathrobe. Just thinking he's so cool.
Yeah, come back next week.
All right, guys. We're jumping back in. Cut to one of the
2 weeks in a row we talked about Seagal.
Oh,
Will we do it
man.
next week? Stay tuned.
Maybe. Cut to one of the douches talking about how his chef back at home makes shellfish just as good. And then he says, my dad said, you used to, buy the experience. That's why we're here.
Yeah, here for the experience. Absolutely.
Yeah. We see right-hand woman, and she overhears that shit, and she's got a fucking bone to pick with them later. We see older woman sitting alone getting more wine.
She's got a bone to pick. She don't want those monkey mouth motherfuckers fucking with her throne again.
Jay-Z, right?
Kendrick Lamar.
God damn it. Yeah, that is Kendrick. Fuck.
King Kunta.
Yeah. Love that song. What am I doing?
Great song.
Yeah, just seemed like a Jay-Z kind of line.
Do you remember when I texted you asking if you knew about Kendrick Lamar?
No.
It was in 2015.
What?
when the Dr. Dre's album Compton came out, and Kendrick Lamar was on a couple of his songs. And I was like, this dude is fucking great.
Have you heard of this guy?
I was like, Brayden, you ever heard of this Kendrick Lamar guy? You're like, yeah, he's been big for 6-7 years at this point. He's been very big at this point for that long.
What? I'm just figuring it out.
All right.
Yeah. Look at him now. Bigger than ever.
Wow, dude, larger than life.
Yeah. We see the old couple and the older woman talking about how she saw some guy the other day, and the older guy asked, how is he? And she says, I'm kind of, I didn't really understand that scene. I just kind of took it as she's cheating on him and he knows or something. That's how I took it.
Oh, I didn't.
I don't know. I didn't understand it at all.
I think they were just making small talk at the table.
Yeah,
I think
you might
it's
be
they're
right.
old. They've run out of shit to talk about.
You could be right.
And I saw this guy yesterday. He's like, oh, how is he? fine.
You're probably right. I
Yeah.
think what fucked me up is all these lines are so specific and fucked up.
It's your like constant misogynistic behaviors where you assume the woman has to be in the wrong.
Or trust issues,
You're like,
David.
there's no scenario where this woman's talking and
Yeah.
she hasn't done something terrible.
Trust issues, bro.
Yeah. This woman wouldn't have her mouth open right now if she didn't do something terrible.
You know, I've been let down more times than I can count, David.
I bet. I bet.
But we see Chef looking at Margot, then turns to the cooks and says, I want plating in 5. And they all say, Yes, Chef! Wow, that was fucking great. Cut back to the ocean with second course on screen. So beautiful. Waves are crashing. We see Chef walk back to the dining area and again claps once loudly, shaking everyone. And Chef says, bread has existed in some form for over 12,000 years, especially amongst the poor. Flour and water. Flour and water. What could be simpler? Even today, grain represents 65% of all agriculture. Fruits and vegetables, only 6%. Ancient Greek peasants dipped their stale, measly bread in wine for breakfast. And how did Jesus teach us to pray, if not to beg for our daily bread? It is, and has...
When he says that, like, as he's saying it,
Beast.
Beast, like, knows that's where he's going. He's like, oh, beg for our daily bread.
Oh, yes.
Like, get the fuck out of here with this guy.
Yeah, stop it. He goes on, it is and has always been the food of the common man. But you, my dear guests, are not the common man. And so tonight, you get no bread. We then see breadless bread plates. And it also says no bread, savory,
I don't even look at me.
a companion's fucking dishes. These fucking little sauces on the side.
It's like olive oil and garlic, and it's shit that you would dip bread in
Yeah.
at a restaurant. And they bring all of that with no bread.
Yeah.
On like a little, looks like a little paint thing.
Yeah. Yeah. it does.
Like a Bob Ross paint pastel thing.
Yeah. Everyone thinks they're joking. They even get a note on the plate talking about the bread and where the fucking bread came from and how it was made. Everyone is like, this is fucking outrageous. This is insane, blah, blah, blah. You're hearing all these comics all over the place. The critic says, or the lawyer from Ozark, I will say this, that this emulsion does look slightly split. The Kiss asser immediately is like, I mean, I was going to say the same thing as I noticed as it came out. It's fucking the emulsion. It's all over the
They
place.
split the emulsion.
Yeah, it's not. It's fucking. It's the emulsion. And as they're saying this, you can see the chef noticing, and critic also says you really shouldn't see that in a restaurant like of this quality. But there it is. There it is.
Split.
It's all split. Beast is riding Chef's dick, talking about the way he weaves in historical allegories.
He's also sitting there with like a spoon, just eating the olive oil.
It's like a little
and the
taster.
Yeah, he's like, oh,
Oh,
this is good stuff.
Yeah.
He
yeah.
knows his stuff.
I mean, the game is just trying to guess what the overarching theme of the entire meal is going to be. You won't know until the end. Like, he's so into it. He understands the premise of the entire dinner and the reason that they're there. Margot is like, wait, you like this? He's basically insulting you. And that is really the analogy of this. Like, once we watch more of the movie.
She's spot on, though. Here.
Yeah.
If I went to a restaurant and they said, we're giving you no bread, and here's all of the stuff that would go on bread, eat that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't eat it. I'd be like, it's fine. We don't need bread.
Yeah.
I'd be a little annoyed there's no bread. Because even the assistant chick, she goes, I mean, no bread from a restaurant that's known for its bread. That's great.
Yeah. It's fucking.
Yeah, so apparently they're known for their bread.
Yeah. So it definitely is an insult, and they think it's that, but then they trick them into thinking it's not an insult. But
Yeah.
you know,
This guy's great.
but it is an insult. Everyone's just going on about how fucking outrageous that is. The critic says they're just going on about the emulsion. Beast is riding. I'm fucking saying the same shit. Jesus. Margot is like, wait, you fucking like this? Wait, I already said that
Said
too.
that already, too.
Oh, God damn it, David.
You should scroll while you talk.
Yeah. No, well,
Make
here.
this a little easier.
Yeah, but now I'm back because Beast is like, oh no, you just don't fucking get it. It's a concept. Marco's like, I know what a concept is. Beast says, trust me, he's telling a story. That's what makes this so exciting. He's not just a chef, he's a storyteller. And she just doesn't give a shit. But he's like, he doesn't give a fuck about the rules. So like he kind of knows about the
He
chef.
doesn't play by the rules, Margot.
Yeah.
You've been playing by the rules your whole life. Not this guy.
Margot says, call me the girl next door, but maybe there are some rules that you should give a fuck about, like, I don't know, giving food to people at a restaurant. And B says, no one would ever call you the girl next door, which is just so sweet. Critics talking about how she makes her own yeast from apples. And Chef's right-hand woman walks up with the biggest bowl of emulsion that they were talking about a moment ago.
It's like a big pot.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Fucking crazy. Right-hand woman says, courtesy of Chef, and points towards him, and he's just smiling. Just like 10 feet away in the kitchen, just smiling, looking, doesn't do anything. The douches asked the chef's right-hand woman for some bread, and
So she's courtesy of chef. Some more split emulsion.
yeah. But the douchebags ask the right-hand woman for some bread, and she's just like, nope. And they're like, you do know who we are, right? I don't want to go there, but you know that we work for the owner of the island, and so maybe you should give us some bread. And she's like, no, can't do that. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
They are not happy.
Are you fucking kidding me?
They're not happy that she will not give them bread.
Yeah. So the biggest douche is like, listen, all right, I fucking know the fucking owner, all right, and like just kind of going on like I can get you fucking in trouble. And she tells him like once again, no, like basically final fucking straw, no, but then leans in, whispers in his ear, and goes, "You will eat less than you desire and more than you deserve." And then she just walks off. And, like, she kind of, like, plays it off like she's fixing his towel on his lap to just, like, lean in and whisper him that.
Whispers it.
And he's, like, dumbfounded. Like,
He's
I can't
"This
believe
is
she
some
would.
fucking cold-blooded shit
Yeah,
she just said to me.
I don't even know how to react. I'm scared. We see Margot not trying her breadless bread. So Beast goes to grab her plate, and because he's so big and beastie, he knocks over the glass, and it breaks on the floor. Apparently, it took them 3 weeks, probably in the editing room, obviously not like fucking filming, to get the right sound effect for the glass breaking. They're like, it's too much glass. The glass breaks, it goes across the floor.
They nailed it.
Apparently, it took, I think it was 72 takes of glass breaking, which I'm like, how does that take 3 months to do? Or 3 weeks. But that's what they said. I'm like, Jesus.
I mean, they nailed it.
Well, that's where all the $35 million went, David.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Chef walks up to the table, and Beast is overly apologizing. He can't even. He's like, I'm so fucking sorry.
What's wrong with me?
Chef doesn't even fucking look at him, ignores him completely. He looks at Margot and says, "You haven't touched your food." And it was something like that. You just hear like a little. It's almost like it's so quiet in the place when he says that. You can almost hear something fucking hit the ground, break the silence. Margot says, "There's no food," and Chef says, "Well, no, this is food." Margot says, well, lots more food to come. I want to fill up. She's like awkward, trying to like make small talk.
I don't want to fill up.
Oh. Chef says, that would not be possible. I've precisely designed the portions to account for that, so you won't fill up. Please eat. The menu only makes sense if you eat. Margot tells him, thank you for your concern, but I am perfectly capable of deciding when I eat and what. Beast is like, oh my fucking God, are you fucking kidding me? I can't believe she just fucking talked to him like that. He didn't say that, but he's just like, Jesus Christ, I'm about to die. Like, he's freaking out. Chef just walks off, and Beast says...
So when he said, eat, please eat, she said...
Oh, yeah.
You told us not to eat.
You know perfectly well that it's not what I meant.
Love this guy.
Yeah, it's so great. He is amazing. But where am I at? Let's see. Yes. Chef walks over after he walks away from their table, walks over to the woman sitting alone, puts his forehead on hers. You're like, wow, that's pretty fucking weird.
Yeah, he walks right over there, and he just... Like, he's so upset with what just happened, he needs to go be comforted by this woman.
And everyone notices.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, what the
Everyone
fuck?
watches. They're like, oh, okay.
And B says, that was humiliating. And Margot's like, he's a fucking prick. And then he walks into the kitchen and says, plating in 3, my friends. And they all say, yes, chef. We see a burner on a stove catch a flame with third course on screen. We see the cooks making the third course. Then the wine guy is pouring for Margot, saying, that's a 2013 Pinot Noir from Ross Cobb. We hyper-descented it with an immersion blender. I looked it up. It's around $100 per bottle.
There we go.
Margot looks back at the older couple sitting behind her, and the older woman says, that looks a lot like our daughter, to the older guy sitting with her, the husband. And he keeps denying. He's like, no, it's not. And she's like, I don't know. I think it looks...
She doesn't look like our fucking daughter, all right? Just drop it.
yeah.
He doesn't say fuck, but
yeah.
he's that aggressive towards her.
You're like, whoa, what's his fucking deal?
Is that their daughter? What's this all about?
It's like, okay, because he reacted like that, maybe he's just sensitive because maybe she's died or something. I don't know. That's what I thought, but I was like, who knows? You know?
I thought there's something wrong with this woman, and that is their daughter.
Oh. that would have been a great twist.
Spoiler alert, what happens is so much better than that.
Oh, yeah. It's great. Let's see. Sid from Ice Age Assistant says she's leaving to be an assistant development co-exec. And he's like, what the hell is that? And she's like, I would be developing things that get developed. It was a fucking nonsense answer.
And I would work with other executives.
Yeah. And he's like, well, why would that be better than working for me? And she says, because there's a future there. And he's just insulted. It's like that Sid from Ice Age. You can't try that guy. There's been fucking 5 of those films.
Yeah, me and a woolly mammoth have been friends for years. We convinced a snow lion, whatever the fuck that cat is.
Yeah,
in that
it's
movie.
Sabretooth.
We convinced the saber-toothed tiger not to kill the mammoth.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how hard that is?
I'm Sid.
It's fucking nuts, dude.
But then chef.
He's the chief
Chef.
Yes.
He walks out, and what does he do? He gives a big ol' clap. Very loudly. Next course is called memory, and that is what it is meant to evoke.
And for editing purposes, before we talk about the
Yeah.
memory, we should take a quick break for editing purposes, guys, but stick around. Because you want to hear about the memory.
Oh, yeah.
You want to hear
It's
it.
going to bring up so many memories.
Gotta hear it. And we're back. Fuck you, Derek Cheater. F you, DJ. What's that spell?
Fudge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Memory.
guys, it's time to go down and take a trip down memory lane. All right? Because now we're trying to invoke a memory.
I love like the look at your eye. You were so excited when you thought of that.
What a great way to fucking bring us back. But that is what this is supposed to evoke.
Great memory too.
Yeah. And says, when he was growing up, Tuesday nights were Taco Tuesday. I love his head when he does that. And tells him, this lady here is my mother. As you can see, she's rather
It's the lady who's been sitting at that table all night.
just drinking wine.
Yeah,
no one knows where she's from.
Not talking to anyone, just
Yeah.
sitting there.
The one
looking,
he put
looking,
his forehead
looking
on.
fucking rough, too.
Yeah, she looks beat up. Not like physically, but just like,
Life's been rough for this woman.
yeah. And he says, as you can see, she's rather drunk. This is not unusual. When I was 7 years old one Tuesday, my father came home quite drunk, really drunk, also not unusual. My mother grew angry and screamed at him, at which point he proceeded to wrap a telephone cord around her neck and pulled tight. And he's like behind her, like mimicking the way his father did that to his mother, like standing behind the mom.
As one would.
Yeah, as one would. So he started pulling it tight. I wept. I screamed. I begged him to stop, to make him stop. I finally had to stab him in the thigh with kitchen scissors. And then we see a shot of the cooks putting scissors in some chicken breast thighs, looking delicious. He goes, you remember that mother, don't you? She doesn't say a fucking thing. Now I suppose I should have stabbed him in the throat that evening, but We're not so smart when we're young. It was, as you can imagine, as a very memorable taco night. Immediately, Sid's assistant is like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
I loved her. I loved a lot of these reactions from the actors. Fantastic.
Everyone's acting like the chef just told them a crazy fucking story about their mom being strangled and him having to stab someone
Yeah.
to save her.
Definitely appropriate reactions.
Yeah.
I love the way they were played. Chef says, so, here you have house smoked breast chicken thigh, al pastor, and our own tortillas made with heirloom masa. And then goes on about how they are using this fucking device that can print like pictures on the tortilla wraps using a laser.
It's the first time we've ever used it.
Yeah. And then he also says the critic knows this is chef's signature dish, staple piece since day one, and goes on and says, as you once said, critic, put you on the map. And then
She jumps in and says, like, as the lawyer from Ozark once said,
there you go.
and he gives it to her, and she goes, put you on the map.
And chef says, precisely what map would that be, I wonder? He then tells them, the images on the tortillas have been made using the laser. Once everyone starts seeing the tortillas, they start realizing how personal these fucking pictures are, and they start getting mad. Starting with the critic, realizing all the images on the tortillas are of the restaurants she's reviewed that have since shut down. Like, what a slap in the face. And she's like, oh, it's a gimmick. To the older couple, seeing images of well, at first it was like him getting surgery of like melanoma like removed or some
It
shit.
was when they walk out of, it was like after he had surgery, them walking out of the hospital.
Then it cuts to the Beast having photos of him taking photos of the food, and now he's fucking fearing
He's
that
like,
the
"Oh
chef
my
is
God.
mad.
He knew I did it. He's pissed. Oh, he's fucking pissed.
Oh my God, he knows.
He's so mad. He's so mad about this. He saw me.
Marco's like, what the fuck? Sid from Ice Age seeing Ice Age on the tortilla. He's like, what the fuck? This is the guy Ice Age on
Ice
it.
Age.
Yeah. Must have really liked the movie.
Like the poster.
Yeah. Then the douchebags seeing their bank statements that show invoices with fake charges on the tortillas. He's like, are they fucking serious? How the fuck did they get these? What the fuck is this? Like realizing like, what the fuck? They're so screwed. The douchebags are like, no, actually, wait. We're fine because we work for the dude who owns the restaurant, so they would be screwing themselves so we're good, right?
Yeah, we're fucking
Yeah, we're
fucking
fine. We're
bulletproof.
we're fine. They like in such a sorry way convince themselves that they're all good. Margot is like, they took your picture without your consent. Like, aren't you fucking mad, dude? Like, you should be mad that they took your photo without your consent. Not you.
Not scared.
that they caught you taking a photo of food, dude. And he is so worried. He's like, what do you think chef thinks? Margot tries to send it back, and Beast starts, hey. And she's like, excuse me, don't fucking snap at me. And he's like, hey, you're a fucking child, all right? You don't fucking act this way. You know how long I've been saving up to come here? And Margot's like, hey, you don't get to talk to me like that. And he's like, well, actually I can, okay, because I'm paying for this, all right, ding dong? He fucking calls her ding dong. He's like, I'm paying for this whole fucking thing, ding dong.
Yeah. Well, she's
hello?
being a ding dong. She's being a child.
She is.
He fucking snapped at.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, you know? Yeah.
He's in the right.
Yeah, totally. She gets fucking pissed off, and she gets up. She's like, yeah, no, fuck you. And as she's walking off, he's like taking a bite of the food, and he's, oh my God, this is so, like, does not give a fuck that she's mad that she's getting up and walking off. And as she's walking off, right-hand woman says, Margot, how may I help you? And she's like, I'm looking for the restroom. And then she just like points to the restroom. And then Margot asks her what's behind the big silver door that Margot was like initially walking towards. And the right hand,
She's like, oh, baby girl, don't even fucking worry about that
don't
door.
even fucking
All
worry
right?
about it. But she says
That
something.
door ain't nothing but a thing. Don't even worry.
But says something very special. You're like, ooh, something very special. Margaret goes into the bathroom and opens up the window to smoke a cigarette, and she like looks out the window and she sees someone walking like angel wings across the yard. And she's like, what the fuck is that? And then the chef walks into the bathroom, and Margot is shocked. Immediately, she's like, you shouldn't be in here. And chef says, I'd like to know specifically what it was about the last course that you did not enjoy. You've barely eaten your food. Why? I need to know.
It's in the women's room. This
I-
is ridiculous.
I need to know. Why don't you eat? Margot is like, why do you care? And Chef's like, I take my work very seriously, and you're not eating. And that wounds me. And dude, if I'm Margot, I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to fight. I'm about to fight for the death.
I gotta get the fuck out of here.
This is my last chance. I gotta stab him in the throat now. Or I'm gonna be like fucking eaten alive or something. Like, I would not know what to think. But once again, what does Margot do? She plays it fucking cool.
So fucking cool.
So fucking cool. She literally walks out the stall. She was in a stall. There was a door separating them. After he says that, she gets off, walks off, just like opens the door.
she's a sitting duck in there.
I get it.
It's not like he can't get through the stall.
True, but
It's not a bulletproof door. It's a bathroom stall. He's getting in that stall if he wants to.
100%. I'm just emphasizing how cool she is because she's not fazed by it. She's like, I'll walk right towards you after you say some shit like that. She goes up. She starts like washing her hands and just says, I guess I'm not very hungry. Chef says, I told you who I am. I am Chef. Now, who are you? She says, I'm Margot. He asks where she's from, and she says, Nebraska. Now, do you want my mom's trailer home address, you fucking asshole? And he says, no, it's not who you want me to think you are. Who are you? She walks, I am Margot. And then he goes, you should not be here tonight. And then she goes, please get the fuck out of my way. And she walks out the bathroom. Like, she is so ballsy, bro. To, like, walk up to someone's face who owns you right now.
I do not stay at that restaurant.
No.
No shot. You should. The chef tells you you should not be here tonight.
He unlocked the door to the women's bathroom.
All right, I'll leave.
Yes, I'm out.
Fucking nuts.
I'm fucking gone, dude. I'm out of here so fast.
You are correct.
Yes.
Mr. Chef. I'll go wait on the boat.
I am Chef. He says his name, but I'm like, who the fuck cares? He's Chef. But yeah, so she is just cool by, I don't know, walking right up to his face and telling him to get the fuck out of her way. We see a white pad rolled out on the dining room floor. We're like, where the fuck is this going? With 4 course on the screen. Chef walks out and claps loudly. Boom! Oh, shit. Chef. And says he's excited. And then interrupted by the biggest douche. And then, hey, can I finish? Can I finish? Thank you.
Okay, I'm finished.
Okay, I'm finished. Yeah, I said South Park. Boom. Chef says, ladies and gentlemen, please meet sous chef Jeremy Ludden. Chef Ludden walks onto the white pad, and Chef continues saying, Jeremy created the next dish. It's called the mess. He goes on about where Jeremy went to school and how Jeremy wrote a heartfelt letter to work for him here. Isn't that right, Jeremy?
Yes, Chef.
Sorry, that was for you, but you did it perfectly. That was so good. I'm proud of you.
Came to the chef and Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chef says, Jeremy is talented. He's good. He's very good. But he's not great. He'll never be great. He desperately wants my prestige, my job, my talent. He aspires to greatness. But he'll never achieve it. Correct, Jeremy?
Yes, Chef.
Like me, at his age, Jeremy has forsaken everything to achieve his goals. Like mine, his life is pressure. Pressure to put out the best food in the world. And even when all goes right, and the food is perfect, and the customers and critics are happy, there is no way to avoid the mess. The mess you make of your life, of your body, of your sanity, by giving everything you have to pleasing people you will never know. Jeremy, do you like this life? This life that you have dreamed about?
No, Chef.
And do you want my life? Not my position nor my talent. My life?
No, Chef.
I forgot he kissed him. He kisses him on both of his. He walks around, kisses him on both of his cheeks, grabs him, and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth course, the mess." Fucking blows his brains out. Jeremy is fucking dead. Blood goes everywhere. And right before he does this, the cooks in the back, they got this big long curtain that they just like close the kitchen with. And blood splatters
Blood
all
get
over.
all over the kitchen. Very smart.
Very smart. All they have to do now is close the curtains. Barely anything to clean up. There's like a little bit of blood like here and there. I think it was like on the mom or someone. They they clean.
Oh yeah, oh my god, they go over there. They just like wipe the blood off.
There's a little bit of blood. They damper off. So fucking great. God damn, the mess. What a meal. But they fucking just he falls on the white fucking.
They laid like a mat out that he did it on.
And they had like little sage or some shit like around him. And they wrap him up in it, and everyone is freaking out. Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! Everyone is literally like freaking out. Besides the Beast, Beast is like enjoying it.
He's like, oh, this is fucking sick.
Yeah.
The critic is also like, this is an act.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
This is.
Some people are trying to like.
People say, yeah, he does this.
Yeah.
This wasn't the first time.
Yeah.
This happened. All right.
But and well, it's funny too because Chef is calming everyone down. He's like, it's okay. It's a part of the experience.
Okay, it's the mess.
It's the mess. It's everyone calm down, take your seats. And now everyone's like everyone freaked out at first, and then between the chef and some of the other people, everyone's like, oh my god, I don't know, is this fucking real? What the fuck is going on? Like everyone's being like hectic, frantic, but they start to like calm down because they start believing the chef and the critic and the Beast who's fucking loving this shit. And yeah, she's like saying this is theater, this is acting. It's all part of the menu. And everyone's like, oh shit, I guess it's part of the menu then.
Part of the menu.
Brains blown out, it's part of the menu. We see the dish on the screen, the mess. Pressure cooked vegetables, roasted filet, potato confit, beef just bone marrow, R.I.P. Jeremy Loden. Confit, yeah.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Sounds fucking amazing.
No, it does. It does look really good. No one is eating. The chef yells, "Eat!" Then everyone starts, oh shit, starts grabbing the silverware. You hear all the fucking forks.
So not no one.
Huh?
The Beast started eating. The second they put it down, he's like,
this is my time.
He takes a bite and he's like, this is good.
Margot's freaked the fuck out. Her eyes have never been bigger. And then Chef walks back into the kitchen and says, "Fifth course in order." Everyone yells,
"Yes, chef!"
Margot is like, "Beast, what the fuck is going on?" And Beast is like, "Oh my god, this fucking dish." And then the wine guy comes over. He's like, "This is a biodynamic Cabernet Franc."
Oh, yeah.
He's fucking loving it too.
Yeah.
Looked it up, around $80. Then the older male from the older couple says he's leaving. He's just like, it's kind of random, but he kind of like starts throwing a face like, "I'm leaving. Make way. I'm giving out."
He's like, "We're leaving. That's not our fucking daughter. All right." And I don't know why everyone thinks it's my daughter. It's not our fucking daughter. I'm leaving.
And they're not letting him go. There's like 3 guards. It's like they have like guards there almost. Like that. They're not dressed like guards. They're guards. And
it's clear they will stop you if you try to leave.
Yes. The right-hand woman walks up, asks him, "Which hand?" And he doesn't know what to choose. Like, what the fuck? He's like, "No, let me go." He's like, "No, which hand?" "All right. Well, then we will choose."
No, so he says, fuck. He says something and uses the word hand. And she says, "Which hand?"
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah. Fuck, I don't have it written.
Yeah, he uses the word hand, and that she plays off that, which is beautiful.
Yeah. It is funny, though. Right-hand woman asks, "Which hand?" Look at that. And which hand is it, David? Right-hand woman asks, "Which hand?" Which hand is it?
It's the left.
It's the left hand. Goddamn right it is. It's a fucking left hand. And she says, "Left hand, ring finger, baby." Then everyone's like, "What the fuck is going on?" Everyone's like, "What are they doing? I love how no one jumps in, too. Like,
ooh, yeah. Left hand ring finger.
Which also kind of speaks to the whole thing about it. How no one does anything. You know, they're just watching. And then a literal cook just walks out with a big chef knife and just cuts his fucking finger off. Ring on the finger and all comes off. Everyone's like, "Oh my god!"
He's screaming.
He's
down
crying.
He's like, "Oh my god!
Ah!
Cut my fucking finger off, you psychos!"
Yeah, the wife is like next. Like, why would you do this? And then the right hand woman goes and picks it up with her right hand and hands it with her right hand, the ring.
Come on, this is right hand nonsense. She hands the ring to the wife.
Yeah, to the wife.
What's the wife say?
I have it. Hold on.
She says, "Thank you."
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Thanks, her.
yeah.
She's like, "Here's your husband's ring, miss. Thank you."
And then Sid from Ice Age's assistant says, "Go talk to the fucking chef. You know him, don't you?" And Sid finally confesses, he's like, "I have never actually met Chef. That he's just a name dropping whore. I'm just a name dropping whore. All right.
I just wanted you to think it was cool that I knew the chef."
Yeah. That's how I make it in this business.
One of the douchebags goes, "Hey, dude, I'm like 90% sure that's your daughter." Right? Like it's uncanny.
Yeah, it's got to be. The critic woman somehow honestly thinks that this whole thing is just for their benefit, like just for their benefit. The kiss asser and the critic, like this has got to be
us.
This is, oh my god, because he sent me the email
He texted me. Texted me
Yeah,
to
that's
be
it.
here tonight.
Yeah.
He's doing all of this
for me. Like, oh my god, you're fucking a narcissist. Critics kiss asser says to Sid from Ice Age, "The acting is astonishing," and Sid is like, "What the fuck are you talking about?
What the fuck? Guy, look, we really think that guy lost a finger.
It's fucking
Incredible,
crazy."
Sid.
It's like these people are in such denial that this guy is gonna say to another actor, like as if the actor's in on, like, "Oh my god, this acting is so good,
Amazing, right?
The actor's
I
like,
mean, sure, he's not on screen with a woolly mammoth, but we can't all be you.
yeah, come on, we can't all talk with a lisp." Older male is fucking still crying. Right hand woman asks Margot to see the chef in the kitchen. Chef says to Margot, "You are wrong." She's like, "What?" "Who are you?" She says, "Margot." He says, "I've served many Margos. You're not a Margot." It's like, what the fuck?
All right.
Okay. She's like, "What the fuck does it matter?" And he's like, "Everything has been painstakingly planned, and you are not a part of that plan, and it's spoiling everything. In order to proceed, I need to know where to seat you, with them or us." And she says, "Then you'll let me live?" He says, "Let you live? No, of course not." "Can't you see that would ruin the menu? We're all gonna die tonight." Isn't that right?
Yes, chef.
Literally, isn't that right? Yes, chef. Like everyone's like listening on his
Yeah.
fucking conversation while still like making their dishes.
So everyone is going to die. The chef just needs to figure out what side of the room Margot needs to be on. Otherwise, the night is ruined.
Do you want to be?
This guy's fucking great.
Do you want to be with the givers or the takers? And then he tells her she has 15 minutes to decide and to take her seat. Chef says, "Plating in 5.
Yes, chef.
I love you all."
We love you too, chef.
It's fucking great, dude. Margot is crying, walking back to her seat, because this is when she fucking realizes, I'm gonna fucking die tonight. And Beast asks,
He's so fucking great.
she's walking back up. He's like, "Protein or veg?" And she just fucking slaps him in the fucking face. And it right away, he's like, "All right, so like protein or veg?"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
does
great.
not-
We got the slap out of the way. Fine.
yeah, does not
Yeah.
give a shit.
Protein veg. And then he's like, "I can't believe you got the fucking tour of the kitchen."
Yeah,
If anyone should have been me.
he is so jealous, dude.
He's like, "That's fucking bullshit. You got to tour the kitchen with chef. I got to sit out here like a fucking loser. And you get to go back to with the chef.
Can't
Tour the fucking kitchen."
It's all because I broke that glass.
He's like, "Fucking glass. Fucking shit. Idiot.
Sid from Ice Age, he's like, I do better in numbers. So what does he do? He goes over to the douchebags table. So he's like, "Listen, I talked a saber-toothed tiger and a fucking woolly mammoth
He's
into
like,
it.
"You're my Ray Romano. You're whoever voiced the tiger. Let's fucking get this going."
Let's fucking do it." and they're talking about like they're trying to think about a plan. They're like, I love this because Sid is like, listen, this worked really well for me in the movie Ice Age. All right, whenever they bring out the knives, we're gonna grab the knives, we're gonna storm the kitchen. And as he's saying this, what does the biggest douchebag do? He does the biggest douchebag move. He says, "Fuck your plan," takes the fucking chair, runs to the fucking bulletproof glass window, and finds out it's bulletproof.
And just nothing happens.
Yeah, nothing happens. And I love it because they give a shot outside the glass really quick, and it's like dead silent.
Yeah.
It's great. Oh yeah, and he was like comparing it to a movie he called, which is Ice Age.
So she then goes over the right-hand woman, and she's like, "Oh, let me help you your seat."
Yeah, bro, it's so great. Now they're trying to figure out something.
She's like, "Why don't you sit down before you hurt yourself?"
Yeah, shh, it's okay. But now they're bringing out the next dish. Chef claps and says, "Sometimes all you need is a good cup of tea. I found that not only does tea cleanse the palate, but it offers a soothing balm when facing some hard truths." Then says, "Before we continue, are there any questions about me or fucking Island or
Hawthorne Island.
Yeah?" And then Beast immediately asks, "Is this Bergamot?" And Chef is so fucking annoyed. He's like, "Yes, it is."
It's Bergamot. Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Sid from Ice Age says, I think I speak for everybody when I say, and then fucking biggest douchebag butts in and says, "What the fuck is this happening, man?" And Chef is like, "I'll tell you. Think of yourselves as ingredients in a degustation concept, a tasting concept." And the Beast is like, "I understand concepts."
He's like, "All right, yeah, I'm following."
He then tells them, "None of this should be a surprise to most of you." He tells Critic, lawyer from Ozark, he knows the damage she has done to so many livelihoods and how she loved the fact that he sent her an invitation. She immediately is like, no, like, I don't ruin fucking livelihoods with like, no, you get it all misunderstood. I just review, stores and, stuff. Like, I'm not trying to ruin people's livelihoods. And he's
like, "You know what you fucking are."
Yeah, I fucking sent you. Fucking love the fact that I sent you a fucking invitation.
Oh,
me yearning for your attendance. Your ego was fed, but that is to be expected, and you fed my ego as well. He's like so chippy when saying that. Right hand woman tells Margot she has 10 minutes and puts like a timer on the fucking desk or on the table. Older woman begs to allow her husband to go to the hospital, which I thought was very sweet. And the older man says, let her go instead, which I also thought was sweet.
No, I'm fine. Let my wife go.
Yeah.
That's not my daughter.
I guess bringing it back. But Chef says, my loyal regulars, how many times have you eaten here in the last 5 years?
It's like, I don't know, 3,
6.
4, 6.
Chef says, 11. 11 times, and you can't tell me one thing you ate here. Just name one dish the last time you were here. And
Or the time before.
yeah.
Or any of the times.
Yeah.
The wife goes, "Cod. And he goes, "Cod."
Chef says, "It wasn't cod, you donkey. It was halibut. Rare fucking spotted halibut." She says, "What does it matter?" Chef says, "It matters to the halibut and to the artist who works turns to shit inside your gut." It's fucking great. I've allowed my work to reach the price point where only the class of people in this room can access it. And I've been fooled into trying to satisfy people who can never be satisfied. Starting with her. And points to the mother. But that's our culture, isn't it? And my restaurant is part of the problem. So we're starting to pick up what he's putting down. You're like, oh my God. I get it. I get where he's coming from.
I'm on board.
Yeah. Again, douchebag says this isn't your fucking restaurant. Chef says, "You're right. Doug Varick is your boss, my angel investor. He owns this island and this restaurant. And since Hawthorne is my entire life, I would have to say that Doug Varick owns me. Except now things are a little more complicated and I own Doug Varick." Then shows Doug Varick hanging above the ocean with angel wings on his back, and the douchebags start freaking the fuck out.
Oh, shit.
We'll pay you, Chef. We'll give you any amount of money. And Chef is like, "I don't want your fucking money." And then the black douchebag tries to run. And then as he's running, he gets tripped, falls on his face. And then the Asian douche is like, says he kept you open through COVID, you prick. You
stayed open through fucking COVID.
And
Because of Doug Barrick.
And Chef says, yes, he did. He questioned my menu. He would even request substitution, despite the fact that there are no substitutions of Hawthorne. Fallen angel, please. And then they slowly lower Doug Barrick into the ocean. He's like, shh, shh. Listen.
They're like yelling. Oh, you gotta stop. He's like, shh.
Listen, just listen. Shh. And he closes his eyes. He's like, do you hear it? Shh. And there he goes. Under. And quiet. And you're like, oh my God, this guy's a fucking psychopath. Yeah. And which is crazy because it's like, how could you hear that well out if you can't hear that well in?
Couldn't. It's all theatrics.
Yeah, I guess it's all theatrics.
Fallen angel, please.
And I love it because we see the guy who's been pouring wine this entire time. When they start to lower the angel, he's holding a bottle of wine. And he's like,
Angel's going down.
He's like loving it. He's got such a fucking psychopath look on his face. And yeah, so Chef immediately right after goes, that silence means I'm free. And you're like, oh my God. Margot's time is up. Bell rung, and it's time for her to talk to Chef in his office. Margot says he was right and that he shouldn't be here, and that she shouldn't be here. She says,
I'll just get my things and leave then.
And she goes, I'm sure you're brilliant, but, you know, this isn't meant for me. And he says, you're not sure if I'm brilliant, so don't say it. It's false. She says, fine, I'm not sure if you're brilliant, but, you know, fuck. And he says, well, I was expecting more. Like, that's like, I thought you were gonna try harder. That's it. And she says, fuck you. He tells her, you know, you belong here with your own breed. Like, talking about like with them, like almost like you're a part of us.
With the staff. He's like, you belong with the staff, not with them out there.
Yeah. Also tells her he knows she's in the service industry, implying she's a fucking hooker.
Yeah, not implying.
Totally.
I think he comes out and says it.
Yeah, right. Because of the way she was staring at the older guy, implying the older dude paid her for sex in the past.
Your father, you fucking freak.
Yeah. Chef says, so he paid for an experience, and I can tell as one provider of an experience to another that you don't rattle easily. So how did he rattle you? Margot
he did it so well. He fucking rattled her, all right. Let's hear it.
Margot ends up telling him that tells him that she helped him get off.
Come on. If you don't have it, I'm fucking jumping in. Okay,
no.
Do it.
Well,
do it.
At first, though, tells her, you know, would help him get off. And
don't do this slow build. Come on.
And then tells him that what rattled her was when he told me.
No, hold on. He made me make eye contact with him while he masturbated.
Yeah, and then
he said that's pretty specific. She said, not really. But what rattled me is
when he told me to tell him that he was a good man and that I was his daughter. And that he loved me and I loved him. And then Chef cuts her off and says, oh, so he's a romantic. It's fucking that's that part.
He found a sex worker who looked like his daughter, made her maintain eye contact with him while he masturbated, and say, you're a good man. I love you. Guys, for editing purposes, we're going to take a quick break. But stick around. It gets better, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So great. And we're back. Hey! Fuck you, Derek Jeter. F you, DJ.
I thought you were going to be like, those are my fucking letters.
Nah, I was fine with it.
Oh, thank you. Well, Chef cuts her off and says he's a romantic, just to bring you guys back right before we cut, and says, I don't need all the details. I know a bad customer when I see one, or I know what a bad customer is.
Well, you got all the details, Chef, all right?
Yeah, it's like, no, there's no more than that.
Yeah, it's as weird as it got.
Yeah. He asks her if she enjoys providing services, and she says yes, or I used to. Do you enjoy providing yours? And he says, used to, but I haven't desired to cook for someone in ages. And one does miss that feeling. He tells her to come with her, and they go back to the dining room to tell everyone to follow him outside. He's got something special in store. We see Chef's mom go and grab a bottle of wine and just walk back. It's the first time she's gotten out of her seat to grab a whole bottle of wine. Chef tells them there's nothing to be frightened of. They are now outside, and we see Critic and Kissasser say they are going to die tonight for sure. Chef then introduces another chef, a female chef, and only Beast claps. He's just like the only one, like, oh, yeah. This woman chef walks up, yeah, just like that, and starts talking about how Chef tried to fuck her multiple times, and she refused, but he kept her in his kitchen and refused to look at her in the eyes and speak directly to her for 8 fucking months. But he can do that because he's the star. He's the man.
Love it.
It's fucking great.
Tried to fuck me. I said no. He then ignored me for 8 months. But he can do that because he's the star. All right? He's the fucking man, not me. I'm nothing.
Kind of makes me want to join a cult just to be around these people, just for a little bit, to be like, oh my god, these people.
No way.
People exist like this.
No way you join a cult, dude. Think of how removed you are from real people. You buy into it. There's no way you join a cult and never buy into it.
There's one person not buying into it. It's me. I got trust issues, bro. I can't buy into shit.
Yeah, but you'd get there and you'd buy in. No shot. You're not special, all right? You
I
ain't
am.
special. Waco?
I'm super
Waco?
special.
A fucking FBI agent infiltrated it.
Yeah.
And he's like, this David Koresh guy, he's making some good points.
I would have been the only
I kinda
person
like
to
these
survive
people.
that Waco fucking
You
shit.
fucking, no, you wouldn't.
I would have
No, you
converted
wouldn't.
the fucking sheriff.
You wouldn't have done shit, bro. You'd have been like, David,
Our next
David
course.
Koresh, you can fuck my wife. That's what you would have done.
Simp, cuck, sip. Our next course is called Man's Folly. She stabs Chef in the fucking thigh, then wipes his blood on his shirt, and then he apologizes to her. And then Chef says to our male diners, and he doesn't fucking budge. He fucking stabs her, or she stabs him, and he's just like, I'm sorry. It's like it's crazy. He's got some balls. But we learned that he can. He's really good at dealing with pain. But he goes on to tell all the male diners, you will be given 45 seconds head start to try and escape before my staff tries to catch you. Biggest douche starts running off before Chef can even finish. And then all the men start running off in different directions. And Chef tells Beast,
Beast did not go.
you too?
Beast stood there. He's like,
Beast's like, I want to just stay here.
He's like,
I don't want to run.
all right, I guess I'll run.
Well, I'll get caught purposefully.
Yeah.
It is. It's another point that I wanted to say about this too is it shows the subconscious as well as the character of all these people, especially the males, because none of them work together. They all run in separate directions. So it shows, what type of people these guys are. Woman chef has the woman follow her back inside the restaurant. We see all the staff running through the forest with 6 course on the screen. Then see Man's Folly and see the definition. It says Dungeness crab, fermented yogurt whey, dried sea lettuce, umeboshi?
Uma Thurman.
Yeah. Uma Thurman. What a great ingredient. And then kelp. Next, we got Critic Woman tries it and says to Women Chef, she's trying to play a big game. She's just trying to be like, oh my God, this is so fucking amazing. I mean, the tartness of the umeboshi, the Uma Thurman, and the ways of the ferment, it's rich and yet clean. It's delicious. And then fucking the other girl fucking responds saying, there was a time that would have meant a lot. And then just immediately starts crying profusely. There you go. Had to bring it back, and all the other girls start picking up on it. And they're like, "No, it's so good." They just start boasting her up. Oh my God!
Yum yum yum
It's the best thing I've ever tasted. And we cut back. We see all the guys arguing as they're running away because some of the guys are like trying to run with the other guys, like, "Fucking get away from me, man! You're gonna get me caught!" And it's like, dude, you guys are not bros at all. No bros working together there. Cut back to the girl at the diner, and older woman says to Margot,
Diner?
"Yeah, the restaurant, whatever.
It is. They paid $1,250 per person to eat here.
Yeah,
It's not a diner.
it's like an IHOP." The older woman says to Margot, "So you know my husband?" And you could just tell on Margot's face. Anna played
Yep.
this so good. She's like, "Fuck it, yeah, I do."
No.
And it just gets awkward. Side assistant, Sid's assistant, says, "So, are we really dying tonight?" Says it to the woman chef, and woman chef says, "Yeah." And they're like, "Fucking why?" And she's like, "Well, it all ties together conceptually. Like there wouldn't be like a concept if it wasn't for like the death at the end." And the critic starts going on about how she can help her, open up her own restaurant. Might have to pool some things here and there, but we could talk about it. We can get her to be an owner of a restaurant. A lot of things work, really well for her. All the other girls start talking about it too, and the girl goes, "Well, the whole dying thing was my idea." And then the woman chef's like,
It's like they were really into it once I pitched it.
"Yeah, and I'm actually like super proud of it."
Yeah.
And then the lawyer from Ozark says, "All right, fuck it. Who wants some more wine?" She starts like pouring up wine for everyone. It's a funny moment. We see all the men being captured and brought back to the restaurant. They're all fucking tired,
We
wet.
saw
Oh, I'm gonna say it.
Beast.
No.
We saw Beast like watching them eat through the window. Like,
I forgot to put that.
Like, he never ran. He
Yeah.
was like, "No, I want to
watch
I want
them."
to eat."
Yeah.
So he's in there watching. He's looking.
so-
He's
I fucking
like,
love
"It looks fucking great." Yeah. And then he's just walking it. No one is making him come inside. He's just walking with everybody.
Oh, it's time to go back in?
He's like, "Oh, cool.
All right, cool.
Great. Next course.
Yeah.
Let's do this."
The kiss asser is the last found, so he gets a passered egg. He's like in the egg where like all the chickens are, and he's just like all bottled up, and they just like take down this little hatch and like bring in the little treat, like, "Oh, for our last found contestant," and he's just like, "All right,
Thank you.
thanks." But it's a passered egg. It's egg, cream fraiche, and maple.
Cream fraiche. Cafeteria fraiche.
Love it. South Park. Fuck with me. Back to the girls' table. Margot tells him her real name is Erin, but who the fuck cares? We're still calling her Margot,
Aaron says, not that any of you fucking care,
which we don't.
but my name is Aaron.
Yeah. I love that they acknowledge that, though. The writer knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, "None of you guys care, but if I'm going to die, I don't want to die as Margot. All right? I want to die as Aaron."
Sorry, Margot. We're referring to you as Margot. Men are all discouraged, tired, wet, fucked up. Sid from Ice Age tells his assistant, "Sorry, I'm a fucking failure," which is great because I'm sure he was thinking of Steven Seagal when he said that. Like, that was like his method. But she says, "It's okay. I've been stealing money from you." And he says, "I know." And she says, "I know you know." Chef walks out.
And then he says, I wrote you a bad recommendation letter to Sony." She goes, "I know.
You
CC'd me on it."
It's great. They got great lines in this film. Chef walks out and says, "I'm afraid our menu cannot continue as planned until we deal with an unresolved matter." You. Beast with a mouthful goes, "Me?" Tries to talk, and Chef says, "Shh, swallow." And then Chef, once he does, Chef asks him, "Tell me why you were here." Beast says, I wanted to experience your food, Chef." Chef asks, "And what were you told ahead of time?" Beast says, "You told me it'd be the greatest menu ever created." Chef says, "Right, and?" Beast says, "And everyone would die?" What? This fucking guy knew! What?
He's still like, I gotta eat it.
Yeah.
I can't miss out on
And
this.
he's like, he's not that like, "Oh, you caught me." Or it's just like,
it's like, not everyone would
"Chef,
die.
you want me to say this?"
Yeah. He's like, "You told me everyone's gonna die."
Yeah. Chef says, "You had a date. What happened to your date?" B says, "She broke up with me." Almost like feel bad for me. I'm the victim. Chief says, "So you hired her knowing she'd die?" B says, "Yes." And Margot fucking goes crazy.
So he's like, "Why?" The chef is baffled by it.
Yeah.
Why?
I love it.
Well, you do seatings in groups of 2, typically, and I didn't want to throw the numbers off. You're like, this is fucking nuts.
It's great because you could tell how much.
Also, here's
The
the other
chef
fucking
hates
crazy thing. I didn't think of this until right before we started recording. He knew they were gonna die. He's taking pictures of all the fucking food. Like, what a fucking psycho this guy is.
Oh, I'm gonna keep it for later.
Yeah, like
You're never gonna look at the pictures. It's crazy. It's such a fucking weird thing to think. I think they probably thought like, oh, that's almost like contradicting, but fuck it, it goes with like his character.
yeah,
yeah,
it's great.
Fucking need it. B says, or Chef says, or no, B says, she broke up with me. Chef says, so you hired her knowing she'd die? And B says, yes. Margot goes crazy, punching him in the face. That was improv.
There we go.
So originally in the script, Anya Taylor-Joy says that she didn't like a lot of times how in scripts women will be put in the most ridiculous situations and won't react more realistically. So when she was on set, she was like, this is how I think a woman would react. So she fucking crawls over the table and punches him in the fucking face. Love
What
it.
if he punched back?
Yeah, right?
Then what?
Yeah.
You're gonna improv that?
Yeah, you improv it, you
He's like,
connect.
fuck off me!
Yeah, and he's
The fuck off me, Anya!
yeah,
The fuck you think this is?
but it gets like
I'm the beast!
Have you not seen me in X-Men?
You come over here and fucking hit me!
He fucking and then he beats the shit out of her, but then puts it on like the director.
It's like, it's your fault.
Your fault. You fucking gave her too much freedom.
You fucked up.
I told you she couldn't handle this role. She goes from playing chess to this. But then Chief asks, Chief tells him, you can't blame her. And he goes on about how he gave Beast access to our world for 8 months and you swore him to secrecy. Why do you think I would do this? Chef asks, why? And Beast replies, you said I know a lot about food. Chef says, that's right. You're not like the others, are you? You know what a Paco Jet is. And you knew what the Bergamot was. He's like, yeah, Chef, I did. And he's like, no, but you didn't just know, you identified it. He's like, yeah. That impressed me. And Beast is in love. He's like, oh my God, Chef, yes. And Chef tells him, you're a cook. And that a cook belongs in the kitchen. Isn't that right?
Yes, chef.
Yes, Chef!
Does he say it like that? Oh, they all say
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
chef?
yeah.
Okay. Yes, chef!
And then Chef stands him up, walks him over, and then gives Beast a chef jacket and puts his name, starts writing his name on it, and says, doesn't he look good? And they say,
Yes, chef!
and we hear Chef's mother in the corner say, that's a handsome boy. I'm like, that's the only time she fucking spoke, dude. It's fucking crazy, dude. Which also implies some weird sexual activity from the mother.
She just knows a handsome boy when she sees
Yeah,
him.
I
Doesn't have to
guess.
be weird.
Yeah, I guess.
He is a handsome boy.
Yeah, he is. Chef
It was
tells...
believable that he was there with Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like, oh, she's so far out of his league. Like,
Yeah.
a little bit, but he's a handsome boy.
Yeah. Well, she's definitely out of the league for that fucking dude. Her father. You know?
No.
No.
She's daddy's little girl.
Damn it. Oh, my God. Chef tells him to cook. And the Beast is like, okay.
Yeah.
Goes in the kitchen.
He brings everyone up. He gathers
Oh my
everyone
God,
that's
it's
sitting out.
so
He's like,
great.
everyone gather around.
the right-hand woman.
Watch
is,
him. Learn from him.
The right-hand woman's like, everyone stand up and observe the greatness. And Chef is, just like David saying, soaking it up.
Everyone's around him. He's like, observe, learn from
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, everyone please join in. Beast is going to demonstrate his culinary expertise. Come around, come closer. And then what do you need, Beast? Leeks. Ah, leeks. He's going to cook some leeks, everyone. Ah, yes. What else, Beast? Beast is so fucking frantic and shit. Chief is like, you need shit. But Beast says, shallots. She says, shallots for the phenomenal Mr. Food himself. I love it. Everyone gather around. We must learn from Beast. This is a new dicing method of which we have been woefully ignorant.
Cutting the leeks and shallots, and he's doing it weirdly.
Chef is talking about bearing witness to a revolution in cuisine. It's so fucking great. Beast is so fucking frantic. He's burning himself. He's grabbing shit. He's so anxious. Beast says he thinks it's done.
So there's more ingredients.
Yeah.
He's not just cutting leeks and shallots and say, we're good.
So
He
what
gets-
protein
He
do you
gets
need?
butter and he gets a lamb.
Yeah. And then Chief tells him, maybe you want to, after that, he says, B says he thinks it's done. Chef says, maybe you want to jam it into the Paco jet. B shakes his head, no. Chief says, wow, it's actually,
So Chef,
yeah, tries a bite, and he says, wow, it's actually quite bad. And we get the yoga bell.
and Beast's face, he is just crushed.
Yeah. We see
This
on
was
the screen,
his moment, and he fucking failed.
and we see Beast's bullshit on screen saying, undercooked lamb, inedible shallot leek butter sauce, utter lack of cohesion. Chief then tells Beast,
Chef.
yeah,
You called him Chief.
dyslexia, bro.
It's not dyslexia. It's just wrong.
No, it's wrong, but it's like,
You're adding letters.
I'm adding letters, but I see two words in my head, and then I flip them. That's like dyslexia. You are why
You're fucking retarded. All right?
That's it.
Try to bring it. No, it's just like this learning thing that I have. You should feel bad for me. No,
I love it.
Just call him the fucking chef, all right?
I got a disability.
Call him.
What does this guy do?
Call him the fucking chef. Show the man some goddamn respect.
You're right on that manner. I was disrespectful. Chef
Yeah, chef.
then tells Beast, you are why the mystery has been drained from our art. You see that now, don't you? He's like so passionate to Beast, and then leans in and whispers something into his ear. And what I guessed that he said, or do you have something?
I mean, I know what happens. I assumed what happens
Why,
is what
you-
would
you-
happen.
Well, I guess what he whispers. Do you have something that you think he whispered into his ear?
He does this. He whispers in the ear and says, Margot, she's not that guy's daughter, but she looks like the daughter. And she maintained eye contact with him while he jerked off. And she said that, I love you. You're a good father.
He's like, oh my God.
He's like, wow.
That's it for me.
That's a lot to take. That's a lot to take in.
Oh, that's fucking great. Yeah, that. Or I was thinking like maybe he's like, listen, you're off the fucking menu, and leave. You're not even worth fucking dying. And then he's just like, I'm not even good enough for the menu. And then
Takes off the chef jacket and gives it to him,
Just
and then
walks.
walks back through the kitchen.
yeah. So we don't know what happens to him. He just walks out the kitchen. Chef then tells Margot she is free. And
She's like,
she
"Ooh."
doesn't really do anything, and then apologizes to everyone and says, we strive for perfection, which sadly does not exist. Then tells Margot to come with her. Chef then tells her in the back that her right, like in the back of the kitchen, that
Like, in the corner right there should be a barrel. Do you see a barrel?
I don't see a fucking barrel.
I don't see a barrel.
Yeah. You see that fucking woman? Yeah, that's supposed to be my right-hand woman. What'd she do? She forgot the fucking barrel.
No barrel, this one.
Yeah.
No barrel.
Yeah. And right-hand woman is so upset, dude. She's not showing it, but you could just tell she has let her entire world
He goes, did
down.
you forget the barrel? She goes, yes, chef.
But now he wants Margot to go grab the barrel because he's like, my right-hand woman isn't capable of grabbing the barrel. So right as she goes to leave, she sees Beast hung himself in the back room.
Killed himself.
He's just fucking hanging there.
So upset that he couldn't cook well in front of the chef that he fucking killed himself.
The Beast is no more. It's so sad.
It's fucking nuts.
God, man. He gets her to go fetch the barrel.
But real quick, I don't often say, oh, I guess that was going to happen. As soon as he took off the thing, I was like, oh, he's going to go kill himself.
Yeah, there's
It's
no
like,
other-
without a doubt, he's killing himself.
no
And
way. He
as-
knew he was going to die.
Like-
And now he's like, oh, I can't die with you guys. All right, I'll
He's
just
like,
go live.
I got to kill myself.
Just go live, you know?
And Chef knew he was going to kill himself.
Mm-hmm.
Chef was like, you know what you have to do. And he was like, yes, chef.
You're not even
He's like,
worthy.
don't you disappoint me again.
So he gets there to go fetch the barrel of the dessert, and it's outside the restaurant in the smokehouse. All good things are in the smokehouse. Everything. Chef comes back to the dining room, restaurant, Jesus. And right as he's about to clap.
You can call it a dining room. That's fine.
Okay.
Just not a diner.
Yeah. Right as he's about to clap, Sid from Ice Age, fumbling his words, Chef, Chef says, "You want to know why you're being punished?"
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Chef says, "I saw Ice Age on my only day off in months, and the memory of your face from that film and seeing it again now haunts me, drives me. What happens to an artist when he loses his purpose? Pitiful." And it's amazing. Sid is like, "Yeah, you're right.
It was a really bad movie.
But what about her?" He points to his assistant, and Chief is basically like, "Yeah, sorry, you're dying too."
No, he said, "Where did you go to school?" She said, "Brown." And she said, "Any debt?" He said, "No." He goes, "Yeah, you have to die."
Yeah, talk about student loans. Like
did you take out student loans? She goes, "No." So like, she paid for it.
Someone else paid for it.
She comes from money.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Yeah, no, you have to die."
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
fuck you. You got to die too. Yeah. I love it because it's like, "Yeah, sorry, you're dying."
Yeah, you too.
Yeah. Because it's like there was a moment where he was like, "I might let her
I
go."
was like, "Yeah, maybe let's see what she says."
Yeah.
And she's like, I got
Fuck.
I got $240,000 in debt from that. And be like,
All
all right, you can get your stuff and leave.
Yeah. Right-hand woman catches Margot in Chef's place and tells her, "I take care of the customers, so Chef..."
Margot went into Chef's house.
Yeah, we see it. I forgot to write it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a couple buildings. She went from the smokehouse to Chef's place. She's in there. She's about to go through the silver door, which is like the same silver door at the kitchen.
Yeah, it's very special.
Very special. And fucking
Real quick, Chef's house is bananas.
yeah, pretty dope.
All the employees living on a cot in one room
So
together.
bad.
He has a mansion.
Yeah, it's fucking nice. But she walks in, the right-hand woman, and says, "I take care of the customers so Chef can take care of the menu." I'm like, oh my God, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, you do.
Margot asks her, "Why would you die for him?" And right-hand woman says, "You will not replace me." Fucking crazy.
She's like, I don't want to replace you. What?
Yeah.
What?
And it solidifies that she is the right-hand woman.
Absolutely.
And now she's like, oh my God, Chef wants her to be the right-hand woman. Chef loves her. Which is crazy because she knows they're all about to die. It's like, what the fuck does it matter if she goes and grabs the dessert for this one moment in time?
No, she needs to end
Yeah.
as the right-hand woman.
That makes sense. Totally makes sense because right after she says that, right-hand woman then attacks Margot with a knife, and there's a woman knife fight going on in the kitchen. Shit's going everywhere. Fucking shit's wild. It's kind of like in Kill Bill. Not as cool.
Not nearly as cool.
Yeah.
Ends with Margot on top, and right before like
Margot
has it turned around. It's going towards her. What does the right-hand woman say?
She says, "He didn't tell me about the barrel. I didn't forget." I just get stabbed in the throat. So great. It's like, dude, she knows she's about to get stabbed in the throat, and the last thing she needs to express.
Not tell me about the barrel. I didn't forget
It's
the barrel.
not
He
my
did tell me
fault.
about it.
I didn't let him down. It's crazy. Margot freaks the fuck out that she just killed someone, and then gathers the courage to fucking go on with her life, and then goes behind the silver door, and it's Chef's office with all of his like past belongings. And she sees pictures of him flipping burgers as a kid, and
He was the employee of the month at whatever burger place.
yeah, I flip burgers, and then sees a radio, and
It
she
wasn't called I Flip Burgers, was it?
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, no
I
way.
said that to be ridiculous. It'd be great though. What's the name?
No, it was a crazy name. It
Yeah,
wasn't
it
I Flip
was-
Burgers, though.
It's something stupid like that though.
It's like Happy Hamburger.
Yeah. But she sees the radio and she goes and radios for help. We cut to the chef celebrating again, douchebag's birthday, and then see so great. And then like as he's bringing the birthday cake, fucking
They're
the Asian
singing
dude,
Happy Birthday.
the Asian douchebag's like, "You guys told him it was my birthday, and the biggest douchebag was like, I thought it was funny like 3 hours ago.
Seemed funny 3 hours ago.
It's a nice birthday cake, too. It's like, it's crazy because they put that together like last minute. But they see Margot immediately right after that bringing the barrel, like disrespectfully, kicking it in. And then Chef tells her to take a seat. Chef then goes on telling her he wants her to understand that he's a monster or was a monster and was a whore. But everything he's doing tonight is pure, egoless. And at last, the pain is almost gone. And I'm like, oh my God, that's a fucking crazy line. Then Chef shows his hands are fire fucking proof and reaches in the oven and grabs like fucking hot coal. Or no, puts his hand over
The thing.
yeah,
Candle.
the candle, and says, "I can no longer be hurt." It's fucking crazy. It's
No longer be hurt?
Yeah, that's all he says. He just puts his hand over the flame and goes, "I can no longer be hurt." You're like, oh my God. He's proven it.
He explains he's worked in a kitchen his whole life. He's burned his hands so many
Then
times.
he quotes MLK, and he goes,
I forgot about that.
"We know through painful experiences that freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed." And it's like, dude, you are not oppressed.
He says, I think, to quote Dr. King, it says that. The douchebags go, did he just fucking quote Martin Luther King? And the black douchebag goes, yeah.
I would know. Then a Coast Guard shows up. We see we don't see him, but we see like a light from the ocean like shine in, and Chefs tells Margot, "I see you found our radio."
They're like, you called someone? She's like, oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, and they're all happy. But then all the workers immediately know what to do. They start fixing everyone up. They're like hiding cuts and bruises and shit. Like, trying to make it seem like they're not hurt. And Chef tells them, "Be wise and think for one moment if you really want to be responsible for the death of an innocent man. And 2, ask yourselves this entire evening, why didn't you all try harder to fight back? To get out of here? Honestly, you probably could have."
This was
something to think about.
This was my favorite, because watching this, I was like, man, there's 12 of them.
Yeah.
If they just aggressively try to get out, they probably can.
They probably can open that door.
I love that the chef pointed that out. He's
I love it,
He's
too.
like, honestly, why didn't you try hard? You probably could have gotten out of here.
And it helps tie things together, because now that we know, okay, he's gonna try and kill everyone. There's so many things. Like, all of the monologues beforehand help subconsciously get these people to be more susceptible of staying here rather than fighting. That's why I was kind of saying beforehand, like, I love that he's saying this, and I love now that I rewatched it to see these lines too, because it really does build an impression. And especially from like a cult-like leader, bless you, like him, he's so good at understanding that, and the writer really, who wrote the script, like, did such a good job, I feel like, of understanding that and giving that extra mile as to like how this guy could be like a cult leader and how people could follow him because of the way he says things, his cadence, his delivery of the way he says it, and all that helps in like the high. Like, people get high off their own supply. Like, I've been around actors who they don't, like, you see how this guy's acting, like his cadence, his pace. Imagine they do that for everything in their life. Imagine I was always like, "And David, today I want to express myself."
You dumb it down. You tell me, you're like, so for the podcast, I want to sound like an everyman. I want to sound like just your average Joe, if you will. More run of the mill.
I love it. David, don't fucking call me out for that.
I mean, but don't. I mean, you can't just lie to everybody, man, What if? I've lived it, man. What you are.
Yeah, and it's just so well written. They do a really good job at kind of showing how it could be in a realistic way, and I love that they brought that line in, like, oh, you guys could have fucking left if you wanted to. But in walks the Coast Guard, and he says,
don't get high off your own supply. You literally earlier said that you are impervious to brainwashing. You're like, I could never.
Listen, I could be a part of the government where I was getting literally MK Ultra'd.
I could never have that happen to me.
Nope. Yeah.
Wouldn't fucking happen.
Yeah. Happens to fucking
I've been shot up with truth serum so many times, I still lie.
Yeah. Fucking bitch ass truth serum.
All right, Coast Guard.
Coast Guard comes in. He says he had a report of a disturbance, and everyone is very still at first. Like, everyone's like not saying a fucking thing. Besides the chef. The chef's like, "Oh, that's ridiculous. Look at us. We're all enjoying our food." But then he notices Sid.
What's the joke? He makes a joke that's so bad.
With the chef?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I don't have
He
it.
makes such a dumb fuck. Like, we're not in the business of something. And
Something with like hands.
it was a not good joke.
Yeah.
Wasn't meant to be a good joke, and everyone in the kitchen knew to laugh.
But no one else did. Yeah.
The whole kitchen laughed at it.
That's fucking
Yeah.
great. But I love what the chef is saying and the way that everyone's, kind of playing this right now. And, but yeah, everyone's very still. And then Coast Guard notices Sid from Ice Age. He's like, holy shit, you're Sid from Ice Age. And Sid's like, yeah, I'm Sid from Ice Age. And he goes to get an autograph. He's like, can I get an autograph? And Chef's
He doesn't
like,
ask. The chef goes, would you like an
yeah,
autograph?
Yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
from Sid from Ice Age? He's like, yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Go get one. And then Sid's like, yeah, do we have a pen? And then Chef's like, yeah, get him a pen and paper. Like he's so accommodating. Goes over and then writes on the pen and paper, help us. So as the Coast Guard is walking out and he's looking at it, he's like, help us. He turns around slowly and pulls out his pistol. He says, everyone stop. He tells everyone to put their hands on their heads. And that's when everyone starts freaking out for help. And they're starting like, it's him. And they start pointing to the chef. And Coast Guard gets everyone to not speak and then tells Chef to...
Oh, tell chef to get down.
Yeah, tells Chef to get on his hands and his cock-sucking knees and pray. And everyone's like, yeah. The Coast Guard then points the pistol.
Takes the gun from pointing it at chef, and then just slowly points it over at Margot.
And everyone's like, whoa. No. And then he like slowly like approaches her and then just slowly goes over a little bit more and hits the fucking trigger and lights the candle on fire. Hers was the only candle that was not lit, which I'm thinking like, oh, there must have been a small thing that I missed where it showed them like putting out the candle or something.
Chef did.
Oh, the
When
chef
he was there
did.
doing
Yeah,
that,
I'm tripping.
Put it out.
Yeah.
Guys, for editing purposes, we're going to take a quick break.
Oh, yeah.
But stick around. We'll be right back.
Oh, yeah.
And we're back. Fuck you, Derek Cheater. F-U, DJ.
Yes, we are back.
F-U,
Fudge. DJ. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I don't know. There's just dead air. Come on,
Yeah.
go.
All right. Well, guys.
F-U, DJ.
So it was all a show put on by the workers. They're all having fun, making fun of all the fucking victims at this fucking dinner. Ha, you fucking idiots. You thought the Coast Guard was here to save you? You fucking idiots. Oh my God. Look, they're fucking actors. They didn't even know we were acting. That's basically what was going on. Chef says, so in the kitchen, we all work together or nothing works at all. Chef then tells Margot she betrayed our sacred bond of trust. And I'm like, God damn, do I know how that feels?
Yeah, you do.
And she's shown her craft to be careless. That's what he said. And he was wrong. She's a taker like all the rest. And that really hurt Margot's feelings because she is literally crying. Like she is more hurt by this than seeing this fucking dude blow his brains out. And,
I think she's just accepting that she's gonna die. I don't think his words are really bothering her.
I think it was totally the words.
I think she's realizing.
Oh,
I
am
am absolutely gonna die.
I'm a taker and I'm a piece of shit.
I am not. I thought the Coast Guard was gonna save us, and I am now absolutely gonna die here. Holy shit!
No way. Chef says, final course in 5, and they say,
yes, chef.
Margot then realizes what to do and stands up and claps. And everyone stops and looks at her, like all the cooks, everyone eating, everyone. And she stands up and she says she doesn't like the food and would like to send it back. Kind of like I'm better than you. Chef slowly walks over, looks at her and says, I'm sorry to hear that. What about my food is not your liking? To your liking. And she says, for starters, you've taken the joy out of eating. Every dish you've served tonight has been some intellectual exercise rather than something you want to sit down and enjoy. When I eat your food, it tastes like it was made with no love. Chef says, oh, this is ridiculous. We always cook with love. Everyone knows the most important ingredient is love. I'm like, that is some shit I learned from SpongeBob. There we go. SpongeBob knows best. Margot says, you don't cook with love. You cook with obsession. even your hot dishes are cold. I'm like, oh my God, burn, roasted, boom, mic drop. First time doing that. That was cool. Chef says, oh, this is ridiculous. Oh, no. He's like, your single purpose on this earth is to serve people food that they might actually like, and you have failed. This is what Margot's saying. You've failed and you've bored me. And the worst part is, I'm still fucking hungry. He can't fucking believe it. He's like, you're still hungry? How hungry? She's like, I'm starved. You know what she goes, you know what I'd really like? And he's like how? Yeah, he's like in a trance. He's like, what do you want? Tell me. What do you want? She says, a cheeseburger. He says,
I'll make you a cheeseburger. I'll make you fucking the best fucking cheeseburger you've ever eaten. You know, I swear to fucking God, you're gonna go nuts over this cheeseburger.
We can do a cheeseburger. She says, but not just any cheeseburger, a real cheeseburger.
This is where he does it.
I'll make you feel as if you're eating the first cheeseburger you ever ate. The cheap one your parents barely could afford. She says, show me. He says, how do you like it? She says, medium, American cheese. He says,
good choice.
He's like breathing heavy. He's like, oh, American cheese is the best cheese for a cheeseburger because it melts without splitting. I shit my pants. I just shit my pants.
She's like, yeah, it is.
She asked, how much that's gonna charge her?
How much is that gonna run me?
He says, $9.95. As if he's about to bust. And she asks if that comes with fries, and he's like, we see him like literally in love. He goes, yeah. Crinkle or fuck? I don't know.
I didn't write it down. It was weird. I've never heard it before.
Yeah, it was like a name. It was like Crinkle or Preston.
It wasn't Preston.
It wasn't Preston, but it was something like
sounded fancy.
Yeah, this is the most fancy word I could think of.
Preston.
Yeah, Preston. I don't know. Crinkle or Preston? She chooses, I think, Crinkle. And he's making it, and he is in love. I love his facial expressions. They're so small, minute, but just perfect. He's just like the little bit of twinkle with his eyebrows.
But what kind of burger does he make her?
A double.
Yes, but
double cheeseburger.
Come on. You're wrong. You're just wrong. He smashes it, baby.
Ah, smash.
Motherfucking smash burger. Smash him up.
And then he gets done with it, and he goes to it, and he just, with both of his hands, and all the cooks, everyone is gathered around, like really watching, not moving a muscle, and he just takes it and squishes it just a little bit, and pushes that juice nicely out, overflows it. Oh my God.
Amazing.
Looks delicious.
Like the kind of burger you want to cut in half and then like flip it so all the juice drains out of it and it gets nice and dry.
Yeah.
And then you eat it.
Oh my God. And you re-dip it back in that juice.
You don't re-dip it back in the juice because you like it dry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you try to convince your friends that, trust me, this is the way to eat a burger. This is how everybody does it.
Well, David, I
don't want all that shit.
David, the one way to not eat a burger is with Duffy's special sauce.
That's true.
Yeah.
All of our burgers come with a sauce, sir. Yeah. I don't know what you want from us. They're like, okay, but I said only cheese on my burger. They're like, sir, it comes with sauce. I don't know what you want from me.
It always comes with the sauce unless you specifically say you don't want the special sauce.
Yeah. We don't care if you say only cheese because it's implied. Because like, if you say only cheese, then the burger and the sauce are one. All right? If you say only cheese, you should be expecting just cheese.
Yeah.
No bread, no burger. Just cheese.
And I took a moment and I said, fair point.
You're absolutely right.
But so great. Cheeseburger looks amazing. My appetite is through the roof while I'm fucking watching this. And the best part is I didn't know American cheese didn't split. So now I do.
American cheese is the perfect cheese to have on a burger because it melts without splitting.
I will always.
I did not know that. I will never forget that.
And I will always say that to every fucking waiter.
Whenever they say what kind of cheese, you'll say, well, American cheese is the best cheese to have on a burger because it melts without splitting.
Yes. Yes. If I don't say that, remind me to say that.
I will. I'll be upset. If you don't say it, I'm just gonna be pissed.
I'm gonna be pissed too.
If you don't, how about this? Here's the rule. Next time we
Don't make it
eat
worse.
somewhere, next time we eat somewhere and you get a burger, and you don't say that, I get to throw my drink on you. Not the cup, just the contents in there. I get to throw it in your face.
All right.
Deal?
Yeah.
Deal. All right, you heard it here, guys. He's not allowed to get mad.
Yeah, I get infuriated and you pull up the episode. I got the clip.
I got the clip. The menu. 228.
It's great. But yeah, so fucking workers are in love. They're like, oh my God, it's amazing. And then Chef walks it over and he gives it personally to Margot. She takes one bite. She fucking loves it and says, now that is a cheeseburger. And he just got such a big grin on his fucking face. And she tells him, I think my eyes were a little bigger than my stomach. Can I get it to go? Says it in like a, ooh.
I understand.
And then says, one moment, please. And then we hear the yoga sound, and see on the screen the burger and fries with, in quotes, supplemental course, a cheeseburger. Just a well-made cheeseburger. He gives her the cheeseburger and a gift bag, and she slowly walks out.
Nope.
Oh. What? I don't know.
She pays him $10.
Oh, yeah,
for
pays
the
him
burger.
$10, yep. The tip is included in the price. And so she starts to like slowly walk away, very slowly. She turns around, stares at everyone, and I love it because the only person to tell her to keep moving, they're just going with her, is, her mom. Yep.
She's like, go.
The
outta
old
here.
woman.
I'm gonna let you live. This is nuts.
I don't care that you fuck my husband, all right? But yeah, it's Chef tells them, he turns around, looks back at everyone else, tells them there's no tips. And once again, thank you for dining with us tonight. You represent the ruin of my art and my life. And now you get to be a part of it, a part of what I hope to be my masterpiece. And then all the workers cover and decorate everyone and everything into a fucking s'more. But right before that, they everyone gives their credit cards. I'm thinking oh my God, they're about to let them away or something, about to let them go. It's like, no.
Well, he's taking their credit card. He was just robbing them. He was like, all right.
No, I just thought they're actually going to pay and let them go. Almost it was if it was all a show. I was thinking they were about to give us the twist, the viewers. But then, no.
Still got to pay.
Yeah, still got to pay. Still got to run the credit cards,
And I love, when they're giving the checks out, the critic and the guy that she's with, he's like, no, I got this. He pays.
Don't worry. It's on me.
Don't worry. I got it.
Yeah. But yeah, so great that he said that to all them. And they decorate everyone into a s'more, and it looks fantastic. It's very
He
well
shits
done.
on s'mores, though. He talks about how it's
Yeah, I'm about to, And then Chef says, and now our final dessert course is a playful twist on a comfort food classic, the s'more. The most offensive assault on the human palate ever contrived. Unethically sourced chocolate and gelatinized sugar, water imprisoned by industrial-grade graham cracker. It's everything wrong with us, and yet we associate it with innocence, with childhood, with mom and dad. But what transforms this fucking monstrosity is fire, the purifying flame. It nourishes us, warms us, reinvents us, forges and destroys us. We must embrace the flame. We must be cleansed, made clean like martyrs or heretics. We could be subsumed and made anew. I love you all.
We love you, Chef.
And then he fucking just takes, as he's saying this, he grabs a
He
coal.
burning coals in his hand. And then he
Walks and just drops it, and it sets everything ablaze. And we see Margot, she finds a boat. She gets it to start.
It's the Coast Guard boat.
Yeah, Coast Guard boat, yep. And she gets it to start. She's taken off, and she sees behind her the place just blow up. She takes a moment and then just takes out the box and just starts eating the burger.
Eating the burger, watching the flames. She's like,
Ah!
it's pretty
We hear
nuts.
a big snack. Now, I do got to say, Great movie. I loved it. There's a lot of cool little things, and things that are hypotheticals, like what could be from the end of this movie. So I'll kind of get into it just a little bit. The whole wrap up. of the,
nobody cares about that.
No. I got
So, guys, next week. Yeah, of course. Go.
So the cheeseburger is supposed to like do kind of like what you said. Like, this is all ridiculousness. Like, you're obsessed. You're trying to go back to your love, and she kind of figured out almost like the riddle. Like, oh my god, he's just trying to get back in love with, like, making food. And it shows how everyone there was there for like a purpose, because they're like narcissists. They take away from the art. It best is represented, especially with the Beast, but it's supposed to be like a meaningful story about how people ruin and take advantage of art, and it's kind of like shown in like a fucked up way where you're not supposed to agree with the antagonist, which is the chef, but you kind of see where he's coming from, and they find like a fun, playful way to make you kind of understand where he's coming from and almost like appreciate. It's really weird because it almost turns you into a psychopath, man. I'm feeling less emotion for all these characters. I'm like, they're gonna be made anew. They all fucked up over their whole lives, and they did all these fucked up things just to try and benefit themselves rather than people who are being, trying to live out their dreams and this and that. And it's just like a weird kind of fun play, and it makes you feel fucked up. Like, I almost feel like the writers were trying to make you feel fucked as someone who's not a psychopath. Because at the end of this film, you're like, I feel really weird. Like, I almost don't care about these characters, and I do, and I almost care that he succeeded. It's kind of weird. I care that Margot is safe, but like, I don't know. What did you feel about the
From the jump, I only cared about Margot.
Which is, they set you up for that.
I only cared about her, and I was glad everyone else died.
Yeah.
From the jump, there was no range of emotions for me like that.
Well,
I was
I'm
just
saying,
along for the ride, having fun. But my viewing experience, I only cared about her. I thought, this guy's weirdly into the chef.
Yeah.
Something weird's gonna happen there. Everyone else seems like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Margot, I don't know what her deal is. She seems out of place. She shouldn't be there.
I feel the worst for the
Whatever.
cooks. All these people just so manipulated and just
They get to die.
yeah.
They get to die at their post. It's the fucking dream.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's the fucking dream.
Yeah. And there was one other little thing I wanted to say, which is the reason why I really wanted to emphasize earlier remember earlier when the right-hand woman was talking about on the 153rd day, if you ate this meat, you would get this bacteria in your spinal fluid, whatever, and you would fucking expire.
Yeah.
What if Margot was eating expired meat at the end? A little fun hypothetical.
Yeah, I don't like that hypothetical.
Okay.
Show her die.
Yeah.
Show her die. Don't like. Oh, maybe it's the spoiled meat.
Well, and the whole reason why I say that is like maybe the chef was more aware, and maybe she wasn't supposed to be part of the menu. So maybe the chef wanted her to die, but didn't want her to die with them, a part of that, because of like also who she is, and he thinks that would go against the purpose of the menu. The purpose of the menu was for them to die, be found, and be showed as like, oh, this is supposed to be a symbology of how art is being stolen from artists and shit like that, and not appreciated.
She would still die and have the gift bag and all the other shit from the restaurant.
Yeah,
Be like,
that's a
where'd
good
she
point.
get all that?
Yeah. Well, they gave gift bags to everyone else, which I forgot to say too.
Yeah.
Which is
Give
kinda
everyone
fun.
gift bags.
And then he's like, chef
he's
is like, there's graham crackers
and he
or something.
explains what's in there. He's like some tasty
Or granola, he said.
some tasty house-made granola, and tonight's menu is in there. All that stuff. He really gets into detail. But you know what movie gets into more detail?
Oh,
There's
dude.
just so many more layers to it.
It's got to be the Nutty Professor.
Nutty Professor, man. There's fucking levels to this shit.
It really, yeah.
And top level, Nutty Professor.
Eddie Murphy.
All right, you don't. I've seen this movie 1,000 times. I still don't understand a word of it. Greatest movie ever made. You know what other movies got some fucking levels to it?
if I had to think, Fast and the Furious. I mean, there's so many of them. Vin Diesel, so many family members that are evil, and it's like, oh my god, where does this stop? No? Maybe?
Brayden, we've been doing this for almost 2 years now. You guess Nutty Professor, and then you don't guess the second one, all right?
Oh.
You don't say a different movie, because now some of the listeners, some of the viewers are like, oh, I hope it's Fast and the Furious.
It's not!
Yeah, they did Too Fast, Too Furious. Maybe they're doing the first one now. It's not, guys. It's The Italian Job.
Woo-hoo!
So, guys, The Steel Mill Killer, Neil McDonough.
Yeah.
My senior year team sports teacher. It was an elective we had. It was team sports.
Fuck yeah.
Coach Comfort. And Mike the Situation from Jersey Shore
Not Mike the Situation.
have all requested that we do this movie. So, I mean, how could we not do it? How could we not? We're getting Neil McDonough, Coach Comfort, and The Situation are all saying, you got to do this movie. We're fucking doing the Italian Job, guys.
We got to.
Marky Mark, Charlize Theron. It's a who's who of who gives a fuck. I can't imagine this movie's that great.
What?
I don't remember liking it. So I can't imagine I like it more now. But guys, do you want to watch The Italian Job before we do a podcast on The Italian Job?
It's so cool.
You should watch The Italian Job before we do a podcast on The Italian Job. Here's where you can watch The Italian Job before we do a podcast on The Italian Job. Pluto TV for free.
Whew.
I tried that once. It's kind of like a...
Pluto let you down?
Well, it's kind of just like, well, if it's on.
Yeah, if it's on.
Like, it's not streaming on there.
Like, we could just pick it.
It's channels, and they
Yeah.
show movies and stuff. Like, if we're showing it, then by all means, watch it. You can watch it on Paramount TV or Amazon Prime with a premium subscription. You can rent it for $3.99 at YouTube, Google Play, Apple TV, Vudu, or 5-6 King's Choice. You can rent it for $3.99 at your local grocery store. Go to Redbox, get The Italian Job.
Redbox!
Braden, we did the menu because it was your pick.
Fuck yeah.
And we're doing The Italian Job because
Steel
Mill Killer, Neil McDonough, Coach Comfort, and The Situation all did something very specific to request us doing it. But how did they do that? How did they say, hey, this is our favorite movie? We want you to do our favorite movie. How did they do that?
All three of them knew to go to our website.
Whoa, we have a website?
Yeah, it's 56kings.com.
Hold on. So you mean FIVESIXKING.com?
Yep.
And what there's just at the top, there's a Submit Ideas tab. They clicked that and they went in and they said, Steel Mill Kill and Neil McDonough, Coach Comfort, The Situation, The Italian Job. I want David bringing it. And the Situation said like gabagool, hey yo, hey, oh.
Gabagool.
Said some crazy Italian stuff. I want David to bring us through The Italian Job because we got Marky Mark and Charlize Theron, just a star-studded cast.
Oh, yeah.
Doing it all. Is that what they did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, guys, there you go. 56kings.com, your one-stop shop for all things 56 Kings.
I love it.
And Braden, when do new episodes of the 56 Kings come out?
Oh, David, it's every motherfucking Monday.
What if it's not?
Well, yeah, then it's...
Say, what if it's not? You just say, then it isn't. And you say it aggressive, all right? We're not...
Then it isn't.
We're not like, oh, man, like, we're not insecure about it. If there's not an episode, then we didn't fucking do an episode that week, all right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's not every motherfucking Monday, then it isn't every motherfucking Monday, all right?
Yep.
So, Braden, what if it's not?
Then it is not.
There we go, guys. Every motherfucking Monday, unless it isn't.
Put my foot
That's
down.
our promise. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I love you all very much.
We love you, Chef.
We'll see you next week.
Peace out.
Bitch, I'm from Palm Beach County.